to enter a world of true crime. From cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can we get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. Jay with Guilty of Crime. How are y'all doing today? I see a bunch of people rolling in, and today we're finally back talking about Sebastian. Where is Sebastian, everybody? That's what I want to know, is where's Sebastian? Hit that like button on your way in. So, we know there's been lots of drama happening around this case. And I'm going to talk about that for a minute so you kind of know what's going on. If you don't, if you've tuned out to that, good for you. That's why I'm talking today. I'm going to talk about it. And then we're going to talk about why the drama. What are we distracting from? And who wants us distracted? So hello, Deb. Hello, Moore. 1967 as everyone rolls in. Crime to remember. My goodness, this is a switch. I'm early. What is up? What's up, Bree? Carly, thank you, mods. I hope Davey's here at some point. That would be lovely. Again, more, and we have quite a bit of people in chat today. As I scroll through, I like to introduce and say hi to everybody. Plant Lady, hello. Nina, PG, Cheech. Now, I'm not going to do that with everybody. I just want to say hello. I see Yashira Santiago in here, and hello. Hello, Mari or Mary. Hello, Melly. Hello, Mama Fee from Louisiana. Lisa Botkin and Cindy. All right, folks. As people roll in, what's up, Red Wolf? Y'all are rolling in. And what I'm talking about today, number one, we want to keep it real. We want to keep the content as close as possible to the facts that we have. And then we want to discuss possibilities. That's how I want to run my channel. That's how I run my channel. So drama is getting old, folks. It's getting old. It's always been old for me. I'm not into it. What's up, Debbie? All right. So today we're going to start off with a clip. And the clip is going to talk about, it's going to show something. And it's a big question for me and for all of you. We're going to talk about why all the drama is happening. And then we're going to talk about what are they trying to distract from. All right. So let's show you what drama I'm talking about. I'm going to show you bits and pieces. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard T-Rev the other day saying that he's done with Sebastian case until something comes along that's tangible and he's tired of the drama. I believe that was him. But let's start with this one, and hopefully my internet.
Sebastian Rogers is missing for 3 months now, and I can't believe there are no updates, arrests, or even suspects named in this case. As far as we know, they think he ran away from home because there's no evidence of foul play. I wonder if they asked his mother and stepfather why he would want to run away, if they believe that theory so strongly. Katie and Chris have maintained from the beginning that Sebastian walked out the front door. Why not the windows or back door? How are they so sure he walked out the front door? It's always questionable when parents of missing children come up with one theory and don't even consider anything else. They push that same narrative over and over again. According to Chris, all the other doors in the house were locked with keys and were...
Now, look at those two people, folks. Those two people are the same two people that I've been going back to since day one. We've gone in circles. We started with them, and I'm coming back to them. And I want to take away all the distractions. I don't want to hear about anything unless it's not drama, unless it's tangible. We've got Seth losing credibility here, frankly. He's not helping the situation at all. I feel bad for him, but I don't appreciate that he's taken away from his son at this point and fighting with people, and Katie and Chris Proudfoot as well. Katie was the last person to see him. They're sticking with the narrative that he walked out of the door. I don't believe that. So we're coming back full circle to those two people here. And now Seth is not doing justice. I feel bad for Seth as well, Teresa, but he's not doing justice for his son. He's a broken man, but he needs to stay behind the scenes. He's not helping this case. It's making it just a shit show and a storm. Teresa says, I don't like the PR. Well, who knows how long they're going to be. There's guilty as Stefan Stearns and Jen Soto, allegedly. All right, let's finish this because we have a lot to go over today.
We're still locked in the morning when Katie woke up. The front door had a keypad, so they believe that's the way he went out. Why is no one asking the big question? If Sebastian chose to get up in the middle of the night between 12 and 6 and leave, why? Why would he want to do that? Katie insists that he is not a runner, has never run away from home before. So if Sebastian ran away from home, then the big question is why? They insist on this theory, so they need to provide information as to why he would want to leave their home that they are painting as a lovely place to be in. It doesn't make sense. The fact that his shoes were right by the door and he left them makes me believe even more that Sebastian didn't leave that house on his own free will. He was either forced out or didn't walk out the front door at all, but was rather removed using a vehicle. There are still so many unanswered questions in this case, very little answers.
All right, folks. So around here, we use logic and reason, everybody. So logic and reason tell us the same things that it told us months ago. Katie Proudfoot was the last person to see Sebastian Rogers. Chris interjected himself into it, I believe, to distract from Katie, although I don't know that he wasn't there. With the 3-hour drive and the 3-hour conversation, we're still in the same place that we were. We've gotten nowhere except a whole bunch of drama. We saw, did you see, I'm getting a message, you see, they cited Sebastian, and I got one person saying they cited him and it's not right, but they think it is. And I'm like, man, we really are taking away from time that we could be spending. Now we just hit 111 in chat, folks. 111, say a prayer for Sebastian Rogers that he comes home. I'm trying to get my lighting correctly. All right. Hello, crime fam. Let's not focus on the things that aren't happening. Let's focus on logic and reasoning. Go back to the two people that we've been focusing on, and then the child that's missing, Sebastian Rogers. Jay, what is your take on being a sighting of him? My take is that it's not Sebastian, and it's just a distraction from the actual investigation. I do not believe that that's him, or he would already be home and there would be some hell to pay. 111. Thank you, folks. All right, so getting to my next point, I'm going to play this because I want to know if you guys not only have seen this, but I'm leading up to something here, and I want you to see what I'm leading up to. I want to show some of the drama that's going on and have you hear it, and then think while we're watching it, why the drama? Who's hiding what? Why has Seth gone overboard? I know he's broken, but can somebody help him?
Sebastian Rogers is missing for 3 months now, and I can't believe there are no updates, arrests, or even suspects named in this case. As far as we know, they think he ran away from home because there's no evidence of foul play. I wonder if they asked his mother and stepfather why he would want to run away, if they believe.
Wait, I played that clip, so let's do this. The why is absolutely right, but we're not on that one. So I'm going to stop sharing that and go to the next one. Okay, let's think about why, but why we're thinking about that. Let's think about how. Let's think about who. Okay. Who did he go with? How did he get out? Why did he leave? All right. So what I wanted to show you was, did you see that video with the interviews? Because we're going to double back down to that and talk about why they're distracting from the case. Even Seth at this point, I feel bad for him, but I also cannot say that he's doing the right thing. And I'd love for somebody to help him emotionally. He's broken. He doesn't need new PIs. He needs help emotionally, probably physically. All right.
For those of you following the Sebastian Rogers case, you will know that we are fast approaching the 3-month mark of his disappearance. It is absolutely heartbreaking. Many have seen red flags from his mother, Katie Proudfoot, and his stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. If you guys haven't watched this video that I posted last night, please check it out.
So I wanted to, yeah, there's so many on here that CJ has. I'm piecing things together and I want to hear from you. And I also have another video that we're going to watch, talk through. Bree, thank you. Who, when, where, why, what, and how is right. But none of the other stuff's relevant. I don't even know about that sighting and why people are still holding on to that. No offense, Millie, but on a case of this magnitude and this size, whatever, this case, if that was him, we would know something. They wouldn't even be focusing on this. All right.
Out before watching this one. In that video, I play a clip of Katie talking about moments after she realized Sebastian was missing. Is she telling us what happened with her body language?
All right. So again, we're going to focus back on Katie and Chris. I'm going to still show you some things about Seth and what he's doing. That's ridiculous. I haven't switched sides, but Seth, if you come on the channel, please let's talk. Let's talk about how we can help the case. Private eyes aren't doing it at this point.
Well, today I want to take a look at that same clip. The more I look at it, the more red flags I see. Take a look at this. What do you see?
I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he's already at this point I was hysterical and I was crying. I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and
all right, let me put it full size for you. I'll start it over, folks. This is not my channel that I'm playing it from. So, but yeah, for this particular clip, I will. And the reason I stop sometimes is because it's not my content. I'm reacting to it, so I'm not just playing other people's stuff. So I'll do this one full size for you.
Month mark of his disappearance. It is absolutely heartbreaking. Many have seen red flags from his mother, Katie Proudfoot, and his stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. If you guys haven't watched this video that I posted last night, please check it out before watching this one. In that video, I play a clip of Katie talking about moments after she realized Sebastian was missing. Is she telling us what happened with her body language? Well, today I want to take a look at that same clip. The more I look at it, the more red flags I see. Take a look at this.
Perfect.
What do you see?
I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he's already at this point I was hysterical and I was crying. I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he's already at this point I was hysterical and I was crying and he's already
Katie is motioning towards her neck, which seems to be a gesture that many use to suggest something is done or finished or over. She says he's already, and then motions to her neck. Look at Chris's face after she said that. Just seconds after Katie said that, Chris looks pissed and he coughs like a warning to get her story straight.
And he was three-wayed. He three-wayed.
All right, I know you all can hear this. I know you see his body language. I know you saw what she just did, where she was doing this. Now, we have to focus on these two because those are the people that A, saw him last, and B, was on the phone for hours and hours, and also the person that we know now to be a narcissistic, abusive, allegedly asshole. If you ask any of the former people, women in his life, or people that are saying things, okay? So let him come on my show. Let him talk to me. Let's talk. Come on. Let's talk, Chris. I'd love to talk to you.
Law enforcement.
Now I'm going to say this is very interesting. Is Katie actually telling us what went on that morning through these tiny slip-ups? Many are suggesting that this is the reason Katie is not going on panels like Chris, because he feels like she will slip up. We heard from Katie about 2 days ago where she just said that she is not going on panels and that her husband does not abuse her. Even that statement, people say, sounded a bit forced. Was she asked to say that? Why such a random comment? If she wanted to say something, why wasn't it about Sebastian? What do you guys think about that hand gesture, though? Do you see it?
Yeah, do you guys want to watch that one more time? Let's watch it one more time. And yeah, that's a weird thing to say when you're talking about your son missing and for her to say that. All right, let's watch this one more time. I'll put it in regular speed and then you can see it. Watch it again. There's going to be a lot more things that we're going to watch out for body language wise. So stay tuned. I love interacting with you all. And sometimes for those folks that don't want to listen to me, stop in between. You're on the wrong channel. I love you and I support you, but you're not on the right channel because that's what I do. I talk, and I analyze as I go.
What do you see?
I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying. I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying, and he's already
Katie is motioning towards her neck, which seems to be a gesture that many use to suggest something is done or finished or over. She says he's already, and then motions to her neck. Look at Chris's face after she said that. Just seconds after Katie said that, Chris looks pissed and he coughs like a warning to get her story straight.
And he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement.
That tripped her up, folks, when he coughed. And we all have spouses or boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. If you've been together for a long time, tell me you guys don't have signals. I know we do. If I'm running my mouth too much or saying something, my wife and I have certain signs to like, don't say that, or oh, you're saying that around the wrong person. So he got upset and it tripped her up. She just because he coughed. All right, so we're going to analyze them. I'm focusing on them. I'm going to show you some things that are just ridiculous, and then we're going to focus back on them. And I won't do another Sebastian Rogers unless it's something that I feel is going to help the case.
Now I'm going to say this is very interesting. Is Katie actually telling us what went on that morning through these tiny slip-ups? Many are suggesting that this is the reason Katie is not going on panels like Chris, because he feels like she will slip up. We heard from Katie about 2 days ago where she just said that she is not going on panels and that her husband does not abuse her. Even that statement, people say, sounded a bit forced. Was she asked to say that? Why such a random comment? If she wanted to say something, why wasn't it about Sebastian? What do you guys think about that hand gesture, though? Do you see it?
All right, I know you all see it now. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, folks. So, all right, we're going to watch one more clip. A Crime Remember says, I say that in the beginning and everyone said I was crazy. Body language is key. I am 100% for body language. I agree. You can tell a lot with body language, period. It's a real thing. I don't understand why people would even say that. Even when you're an empath, folks, empath, I'm an empath. You can tell a lot of things by people, their vibe when you're in the same room as them. There's a lot to be told by not only body language, but how your feelings, gut feelings, and a lot of police are empaths, and they can tell when somebody's lying off the bat. They get a feeling, but you can't convict somebody on a feeling, folks. So it's real. If you don't believe it, that's okay. All right, let's watch this one real quick. Why isn't there sound? All right, is there no sound in this one for some reason, everybody? I know you can't hear it. I definitely can't hear it. So, thank you for being an empath as well. This is not what I wanted. I'm going to play this next, but I'm going to stop sharing this one real quick as your comments roll in. Paranormal junkie, empath. So I'm glad you guys believe that empaths are real, and getting a gut feeling about somebody and then being able to get the evidence and collect it based on what you think is going on is a good talent, or a good, I guess you could hone in on it being a talent, everybody. All right, I don't know what happened there. My internet's a little slow today, slower than normal, so I apologize. But this is important, the topic of today, because I'm not going to keep coming on here and just showing drama. I just want to talk about what's happening and why the heck they're distracting us from what's going on.
Seth Rogers, Sebastian's biological father, has always had the support of the public since the beginning of this case. People have stood by him. His sister set up a GoFundMe, and many contributed, as it was all for Sebastian. He was using that money for flyers and private investigators. It was all for Sebastian. People viewed Seth and some definitely still do, as a father that will do anything to find his missing son. However, slowly over the course of this case, I've seen opinions change, with some saying why they believe law enforcement is not talking to Seth, but rather talking to Katie and Chris. Maybe they don't trust Seth. Katie has accused him of doing some rather disturbing things to Sebastian in past court documents. Seth has been very vocal about the case and called out law enforcement publicly. He said that he wants the FBI to take over the case so that Sebastian's case does not become a cold case. One of the worst things many believe Seth did was work with Tony Mathis. He has been a huge contributor to the misinformation that is being put out there, and his direct link to Seth is problematic. It's been an absolute shit show since he started as Seth's spokesperson. We heard rumors from him about Sebastian seen on camera on the 26th text.
Again, that's the most proper term I can think of as a shit show. Everybody's running their own narrative, and there's too many narratives that are running on one particular thing, and that's a missing boy that supposedly walked out of the house with his mother in the other room. She heard a thud, and that was the end of story. Then she moves out, and now it's just Seth is killing himself looking for his son, but he's doing too much. There's a such thing as too much, and what's being done is too much right now. And unfortunately, he's losing supporters. He's losing credibility. You just can't do that, folks. You gotta stay on track, and you gotta stop causing drama or letting it happen. When drama happens around you, you gotta think what you're doing wrong to bring that to you and cut those people out. A crime to remembrance is a big reason why you need to clear your chakras, ground yourself, sage around. I agree in all that. I don't want to get like that on my show. Maybe on members only, but I also want to stay credible. Yep. All right, last one, and then I'm going to get back on here. So I'm very empathetic and ESP. My mother had ESP, and 4 ends also heightened for abilities. And Darlene, you are an ex-police officer. Remind me in chat. All right, let's see the mistake that Seth Rogers made and why he's losing credibility.
To Katie's mother, all of which is false according to law enforcement. Just seems like some sort of distraction. Now, while this is an open investigation, law enforcement might not be speaking to anyone. However, I can also understand the frustration on Seth's part. His son is missing, and he knows nothing after 3 months. I think he is trying everything possible to keep Sebastian's name out there. I also don't believe that Seth is following any type of script. Every time I hear him speak, it seems to be from a place of concern for his son, and sometimes, of course, frustration with a lack of answers.
All right. So yeah, thank you. You guys go follow. It doesn't matter who you like as a content creator or you don't, or what drama. I'm not into drama, and I'm not going to do drama. If somebody has any problem with me, I'm just not going to work with them, talk about them. It'll be like they don't exist. I'm very new at the YouTube thing and doing these cases, and I want to stick to the cases. I don't want people, I don't want to talk about our personal lives, all right? So we want to keep our eyes on the ball for Sebastian Rogers. We want to find him. And I don't think that when there's a lead like that, a big lead that could have been him, I don't think it should have been public so fast. I think that the cop should have went and looked at it and checked it out before it went public. There was no reason for that. They should absolutely have checked. Not the mom. Hey, Carly J. Bree, Davy's here. Yay. All right. So no drama. I don't care about other content creators. I care about them. I watch them, and I want to collaborate with them if they have substance and they don't want drama. I'm all in. But I only real content. I don't want the fake stuff. Please. You can watch the channel, but I'm not going to put anything on the channel that I think is that way. So I wanted to show this for a minute, or have you listen to Chris Proudfoot. Now, this sums up the last, 3 weeks, a month. This sums up the drama that happened where he threatened Seth's PI. I don't know if you've heard this. It's enhanced audio. So let's put that up so you can hear a little bit of it, and then I can interact with you. I can interact with the chatters while we listen for a minute, and then we're going to get into the no drama. We're going to get into the real stuff. Hello, I'll interact with you. Hello, Trina. Okay. So, not the mama says this is body recovery and a police weaponized incompetence and corruption. In my opinion, TBI and Hendersonville Department do not want Seth to be found, or Sebastian. I'm sorry. All right. I don't understand why they wouldn't want him to be found. Again, this is just Jess's opinion here, but I think that there's a distraction for a reason, and there's two people that I believe have a reason, a big reason to want those distractions. They weren't even at their son's they were out shopping while the vigil was going on. Was it a vigil or a memorial? Oh no, my computer's not gonna freeze up. Let me I'm gonna reboot. Hold on. Or reload. All right. So can you guys hear me now? It says that it doesn't support a virtual background. So it means I'm going to need to redo my browser. I'm right here. So, all right. Can everybody hear me okay? If you can hear me, then we'll keep going. Otherwise, I'll have to hop off. Let me know. All right. So let's go on there. Apparently, I have to redo my browser. All right. Let me know. Can you hear me?
That had any goddamn
no idea.
Yeah, because
I don't.
All right, you guys got to let me know if you can hear me. Hello, Jay. Yep. Okay. So my background's going to be a green screen right now, and the lab video that I'm playing, I'm gonna interact with you. I'm not playing the whole thing, by the way, but yeah, it's Chris threatening Seth audio. Yeah. Okay. So it's Chris. You can see Chris Proudfoot threatening Sebastian's father. We're gonna play a little bit of it. So this, if you haven't caught up on this case, this is what's happening the last, I'm going to say 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Nothing's happened, folks. Thank you, Misty, somebody, for letting me know. I appreciate it. My browser needs to be updated, so I'm going to have that weird green screen. Doesn't matter about me. All right, let me start in at 18 seconds. I'm not listening to the whole thing probably, unless you all want to listen to it. Then I'll listen to it. But I have bigger things to talk about.
Katie's passed. Said she has it, but she wasn't going to release it because the store. Now everybody went out there and got it and released it.
Oh, she said Katie's mom's name?
She didn't say the name. She just insinuated she had the information.
I mean, we do have the information, but
Yeah, and let me tell you what it started. Now all that information's out in the fucking open, and somebody better can explain to me very god quickly, preferably her.
yeah.
That had any goddamn
no idea.
Yeah, because
I don't know what was said.
Better find a way to stop it.
Now, keep in mind, this is somebody else's audio. It's the lab, and it's kind of cutting in and out. So if it's bothering you, let me know. I don't have to play it very long. It's Chris threatening Sebastian's father, Seth, and his private investigator. So that's basically what's been happening, all the distractions. And now Seth is getting sucked into it, which I don't blame him. It's hard not to get sucked into it, folks. I have been getting sucked into the drama of YouTube just because I don't know. I didn't know that was all going to come with being a content creator. And now I do. And I'm not going to let that happen. So Seth needs a wake-up call. Seth, we love you. We support you. But please stop getting sucked into this.
Where's it at?
Nothing. It's everywhere, all over the fucking internet, that people have released all these stupid ass shows and all these fucking Facebook things.
Okay.
It was never out there until that bitch opened her fucking mouth.
Okay. Well, I haven't been looking at it today or really yesterday, so I don't know what's out there.
I'm telling you, I am being very polite as I can.
All right, we'll listen a little longer. Thank you, Jojo, for gifting 5 memberships. Make sure you have your memberships on so you can get a membership. Everybody, you hear how Chris Proudfoot speaks to people. You hear how he's speaking to a woman? This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable to speak to a person like this, let alone a woman. That women by nature, by science, are weaker physically than men. It's just how it is. That's why we don't mix sports. Nothing bad I'm saying about anybody, but that's just how it is. And men, unless you have a weapon, are gonna outpower you. And this is how he's talking.
Can possibly be to her.
Mm-hmm.
If she don't find a fucking way to fix it, I promise her I am not going to be so god pleasant when I see her.
Okay.
And I will bring the fucking cops with me.
All right. Well, I'll talk
And
to
I don't
her.
care
I mean,
how she takes that.
Are-
I don't care how she takes it. I really don't give a god what I have to fucking do. But I can promise you, there's a difference in helping find Sebastian and just being a stupid.
okay. Well, let me ask you something just for a second. Like, are you sure it was her and not like one of these sleuthers or something?
Okay, one of the sleuthers. We're one of the sleuthers. Please give me a call, Chris Proudfoot. Send me a message. Send me an email, something. I'd love to talk to Chris. Even if it's not about the case, I'd love to just talk to him and have a conversation with him and listen to him talk to me like that. I'm a sleuther. Chris, I'm sleuthing on you. Why don't you tell me this?
Because
No,
other
it's
people
her on the show. It is her.
Okay, because there's other
I think
people
it was
that are
on
digging.
Or Sleuth, whatever that woman's name is.
Web sleuths.
Yeah, whatever. It was on that fucking show.
But I don't see. I can't see Chloe just giving out that information though.
She did, you're missing my statement.
Okay.
I didn't say she gave the information out. I said she made a statement that she had it and wouldn't fucking release it. That right there was a trigger to start this fucking storm, when she shouldn't have opened her fucking mouth in the beginning. I don't know what kind of fucking PI or whatever the fuck she thinks she is or how she does this, but if she needs a fucking education and schooling on being a PI, I guarantee you I'll find somebody who is truly a PI and let them school the fuck out of this woman.
All right. Well, let me try to figure it out because I know neither her or I have given out any of Katie's information.
It's not giving it out.
Yeah.
All you have to do is start one sentence. I have the information. I'm not going to release it.
Now, you hear what he's saying and the narrative he's running, and because she works for him or she's tied into the case, he's talking to her like a piece of dirt, like he owns her, like he's better than her. He's definitely bullying her, but this whole narrative that he's running and what he's trying to push, he's hiding something, first of all, and second of all, this is unacceptable. I don't know how people can even listen to this and then talk to him on the show or bring him on. Like, this guy is just he is scum, absolute scum. That's unacceptable for anybody to talk to me like that, even if you're paying my paycheck.
Started a storm.
Actually,
she better figure out how to fix it.
You know, something else I'll tell you, there was a woman that reached out to me that before I had ever been, before I ever knew anything about Katie's family or past or whatever, there was like this random woman, like sleuther, that reached out to me with like some of Katie's family's names and whatever. Like, I will say that she was wrong about, she was talking about Penny Payne, and she thought there's a Penny Payne that runs like some sort of
Penny Irene Payne or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Medical place or something.
Yeah, it was the wrong Penny Payne.
What an intelligent man he is. He only has a couple of syllables per word and a bunch of cuss words. Well, he's very intelligent, isn't he, folks? This guy. All right, you guys in it, we're listening to it. If you want me to move on to the next topic, I can, because after this, I'm not running drama narrative. I'm not running anything that's not real.
But she had the right names.
She has the right names. Just
the wrong people.
Katie Lynn Payne.
Yeah.
Who supposedly murdered a 4-year-old.
Right, exactly. And that's the problem with a lot of the sleuthers, is that they get a name and then they find somebody with that name and they run with it.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot.
The worst part, and that's fine. That's understandable. Personally, I think everybody starts looking for shit.
Yeah.
Ain't even worth the fucking bacteria of the foam that forms on the fucking worst form of bacteria on Earth. That's what I truly feel.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I can feel it through the phone.
Oh, trust me. Chloe's lucky I'm not standing in front of her. Like I said, I will bring the fucking cops when I see her.
Okay. Well,
and it was more my protection than hers. Because right now, you can inform her. She fucking calls me, says my fucking name, anything of that fucking nature. And
we just hit 222, folks. So let's say a prayer, make a wish for Sebastian to come home safe, or just to come home at all, and let people be accountable and let this stop. This is causing a lot of resources to be spent and drama happening, and something good is not going to come out of this, folks.
involving Katie or me or anybody else, I'm going to slap out of her with the same fucking thing I told you. I'll cease and desist letter, and then let her open her fucking mouth one more time. And then I've got her dead to fucking rights.
I think that's
I'm trying to be as civil as possible.
Isn't that the only interview she's even done? I don't think she's.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I
don't
think
care. She's not my PI. She's not. Still fucking mean a god thing to me. She was on fire. I wouldn't piss on her to put her out.
Well, I mean, it's not like Kate, or I said Katie. It's not like Chloe because she's very private. Like I'm more public than she is. I mean, you know that.
I promise you. Go back and watch that fucking video. Go watch that fucking.
Yeah, nobody's man bashing. I'm not sure what anyone's talking about, but we don't feed into that. Nobody's man bashing. We're actually bashing on Chris and how he treats people and how he treats women. And that's unacceptable for him to treat a woman like that. If he was talking to me like that about another woman, saying he's going to slap the shit out of her and all that, you better believe I wouldn't be talking to him after I told him what I thought. And I'd tell him in an intelligent way. I wouldn't be cussing at him because I have a bigger vocabulary than a 4-letter word.
Interview.
I mean, I was watching it. I know what she said, but
she ain't fucking careful. She's fucking sloppy.
All right. Well, let me talk to her. I don't even know. Actually, I do know.
I ain't trying to be a dick to her, but if she ain't got the fucking audacity to give me a working fucking phone number, she better not fucking reach out to me. And that Google ain't a fucking true number.
That's the same number that Seth has, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not Seth. I have the balls in the fucking spine to call people out on.
Just don't take it personal because she doesn't give her personal phone number out to anybody. I mean, like only. You know, like I had it from like a previous case that we worked together, but she's very private about her personal information. So I don't know. Anyway.
And that being said, I appreciate her saying that. I have a lot of people, I'm just going to intertwine myself into that conversation. I've had a lot of people wanting to contact me, and I can't give out my text, folks. So it's either by email or when I set up another, phone line that's just for guilty of crime. So nothing personal. If you're watching me and you want to text with me or whatever, I can't give out my number either. So I appreciate what she's doing. Respect to her. I wouldn't want this man calling me either. He is a caveman, and I respect these women. But it does suck that they have to get a paycheck by him. I would not work for this caveman.
Way. I don't know what to say. I feel bad. Like I know Chloe, and I know that she's not, that's not her style. But I mean, I get it.
Maybe her head's so fucking twisted because she's too emotionally involved or personal involvement with Seth. I don't fucking know. No, I'm not saying a relationship.
Yeah, no.
Didn't say that.
No,
but whatever the fuck it is, she better God can figure it out and redial herself the fuck back in.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, and I think I told you this before, like, she's more focused on the search side of things. That's been.
And why the fuck is this on these goddamn interviews?
Yeah, it's just the one that I know of. But I mean, I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. I mean, I have to try to defend her a little bit because, I mean, I know that she's not a person that, like, shares personal information or private information.
She didn't have to. She insinuated she had the information. She wasn't going to release it. She started a fucking fire store.
What was the purpose of making that statement, knowing full good and well that
trust me, Seth can have his fucking PIs. I don't need PIs.
See, and actually, as we're speaking,
it sends me all this shit for no fucking reason.
This guy, and even if he was drinking, there's no excuse for this. And I hope people stop taking his interviews. I would like to talk to him on a personal level. I don't even need to record it. I just want to tell him what I think of him and have a conversation with him. Oh my God, man bashing. This is not a man. He's a bully. And this is not a man. He's a bully. He's a narcissist, and he's threatening people. Everybody. Why are we still giving him? I'm not giving him attention after this. I just want you to hear what's going on. And this is all that's been going on. Nothing's happening with Seth and being found. All that's happening is this kind of stuff. So thank you, Nina Drew, for the super sticker. Unbelievable. Can I wash his mouth out with soap? Can some grown man go put him in his place? Some bigger man please go put him in his place, because poor Sebastian needs to be found. And this is unbelievable that this is even happening. And he's still getting interviews on shows. People are still inviting him on to have an interview when we know it's fake. Everything he's saying is fake. When you hear him talk like this and then he goes on the show, Nancy Grit, yes, ma'am. It's only because you're scared of her and she's a lawyer and she knows that she can sue you. What is wrong with this man? He doesn't want Sebastian to be found, and there's a reason.
literally as we're speaking, I just got a message from a web sleuther that I don't even know. I don't even know their name. They go under a pseudonym, and they're sending me a picture of Katie's mom, and I don't know how they found that out. Like, I didn't tell. They're telling me like I don't know. Like these web sleuthers, like, I mean, they are like batshit 99.9% of the time, but they're pretty good at finding. And some of these people are just doing it on their own.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
That's one thing. She opened her mouth, made the statement. She's the catalyst to the fucking storm that is now brewing.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. I can go out there, open my mouth, say one fucking word, and I can almost break the fucking internet. Look what I did the other night when I got on that show. When you said I wanted on the show, that almost broke the fucking internet.
Yeah. And that's mainly because up until that show, like you and Katie both were pretty reserved about anything that you were saying. And that was like the one time that you just kind of went berserk.
Again, I appreciate each and every single one of you for supporting me. Lynn, I got that Cash App. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Any and all support helps. Trust me.
That's the one time I went out there and stated the fucking facts.
Yeah.
I didn't go berserk.
Well.
So what did they get out of this conversation? Have you guys, can you tell me what they got out of the conversation here? What are they saying? Did they talk about Sebastian at all? Are they talking about his whereabouts? What am I missing? Because this whole conversation is just, there's nothing happening. I don't hear anything talking about Sebastian. It just sounds like he's gossiping and threatening people. Is he flirting with her too at the same time? I don't understand.
No, I'm fucking pissed. There's a difference in berserk, stupid, psychotic, and every other adjective you want to add into it.
Yeah.
I'm neither of those.
No, but I'm just saying you said a whole lot
off.
more than you normally say. And
yeah.
So
I did, and I had every fucking right to say what I said. Nothing I said was false. Nothing.
I didn't say it was. I don't think anything you said was false.
I don't know yet.
But, well, let me make a phone. Actually, I know I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her right now. I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her till this evening.
And by the way, I sent a message to Seth. Once again, he wants to talk about not responding or whatever. I got in touch with Tony. We talked to Tony. That probably ain't happening. Got in touch with the dog handler. Guess what? That ain't happening either. And that ain't even on my decision because Seth doesn't know how to open his fat fucking mouth and give everybody the truth. But what he does know, he didn't want to tell nobody, thinking that everybody's going to be serious, sympathetic to his bull. When I told her exactly how many dogs, where they all went, what they've all done.
All right, guys. So we're getting a little bit of information in here now. I hear a little bit more details about the case and what's happening. But he definitely sounds drunk, folks. I could hear him kind of slurring. And now that I'm hearing a little bit more into it, and this conversation, it doesn't even matter. It was a few weeks ago. It's when I stopped listening is when it was. So I'm going to say 3 weeks ago. Okay. Thank you for asking when this conversation was. We can look at it right here and see when it came out. But the lab brought it out 2 weeks ago, and that's all that's coming out right now is stuff like this. So let's see if there's any information that's useful. We got a few more minutes, and then we'll get on to how we can find Sebastian and who's covering what up.
He's like, there's nothing I can really do or offer at this point other than to assist in a search if needed.
Yeah.
Once we did and starts talking.
Oh, so you did actually talk to her?
Oh, yeah. Talked to her for over an hour and I think a half.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Last night.
That's good.
So once again, your client
Mm-hmm.
was the nicest way to refer this.
I haven't even talked to Seth since last night. He told me to take a break a couple days ago. He told me to take a break. So
yeah, how convenient.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I gathered now. This is just me assuming. So we know how that goes. I may be way off, but I feel like it had something to do with this conversation with Bobby Simmons because.
Yeah, do you hear all the drama that's going on? Even she's kind of feeding into it a little bit. And I don't know if she's afraid of him more than she's working for them. And she's web sleuthing. So if y'all are a web sleuth or a content creator and you have a main guy that's on a case, I can't even call him a suspect. If you have a guy, you're going to want to keep him talking while you're recording it. So that's why she's talking to him and not telling him to piss off. All right, getting my notice. I'm sorry about that. You got to keep checking for it. Pearl girl. Love you, whoever you are. My mom's name is Pearl. Thank you.
Bobby has started communicating with him again instead of going through me. So that line of communication's opened back up, and I don't know.
We'll see for how long.
Yeah.
We will see. I promise you, if Bobby told
Yeah,
Seth
he's
anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth. I promise you, it won't ever open again.
Well, I'm just as much in the dark right now about what's going on as anybody else. Like, I'm not getting updates. I have no idea. So, and that's what anybody who's reached out to me, I'm just like, I don't.
So this is a private conversation that was recorded. This is not like an interview. I don't think this was some interview they're having. I think it was just them two talking. It got released and the lab brought it out. Somehow he got it because everything gets out nowadays. It's, again, just a distraction from what's actually happening. And we're going to talk about that. But I wanted you to hear how this man talks. I wanted you to hear how Seth at this point is talking too much, losing credibility, and not helping the case at this point, and it sucks. Where's Carl? Carl, come back.
Don't know. I don't know.
Well, you get in touch with Chloe?
What's that?
I said, when you get in touch with Chloe, I suggest you tell her to lose my fucking number.
Okay. Do I have to say
She
it?
does
Do I
not
have
want
to
to
say it
call
like
me.
that?
Sure. And you
Don't
can
really
tell her
wanna say it like
my.
that.
You can tell her those are my fucking words, not yours. Mine.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
kind of feel bad for Chloe right now.
Oh, I don't. When you're a fucking amateur PI and you do some stupid like she's done, you explain to me how anything, and I've even told you this, how the certain things that y'all have done on fucking.
All right, this guy I can't even listen to anymore, people. He's absolutely ridiculous. Where's Carl at this point? If you guys have any clips that you want me to play that's actual, really like something that's happened on this case other than what I'm about to start talking about, then you can email me and then let me know. But this is nonsense. What I do want to talk about, though, is I have a better interview and people that are bringing real action, real content, real ideas to what clues are we missing? Why aren't we hearing the real truth? And what clues do the interviews with his mom, Seth's mom, Sebastian's mom, and the stepfather reveal? Right. So let's this guy, you guys heard his voice, Chris McDonough, and it's the interview room. And I want to play this for a while with y'all and talk through it. Okay, let's do that. And I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but if you have, we're going to work it out together and see what the heck we're missing. No more drama on this. Okay, so TIR, we've got Chris, and he has an expert statement analysis analyst that's going to analyze what clues Katie Proudfoot is leaving, and Chris as well. All right, so let's get into it, folks. Hit the like button. We're barely starting our show right now. You could, if you're watching the rewatch crew, you could just fast forward through all the beginning because it's just nonsense.
Subscribers, our Patreon members, and of course, we have the best mods here on YouTube. Teresa M, Maui Girl.
All right, we don't need
They're
to.
both in the Marine Corps, and both are buried at Section 34.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's get
that have served and
so I find that really fascinating that information hiding in plain sight. I've always loved that. He's also a certified handwriting analyst and a certified voice stress analyst, which is a CVSA. He's a member also of the Cold Case Foundation. So
all right, so he's introducing Steve Johnson, and I like that hiding in plain sight. There are clues that are hiding in plain sight, and we're being distracted. All of us are guilty of being distracted by the drama because I see it on every freaking channel. If I do a search on YouTube for Sebastian, Seth, Chris, or Katie, it's just a bunch of drama.
He's got that's his short list, by the way, everybody. That's just his short list. So we're grateful to have him here very much. So get over to his website. It's down in the show notes tonight. It's www.truth2lies.com. Truth to Lies.
All right. So again, we're not going to play this whole thing, but I am going to play some of it. We just played the interview room. I'll drop the link myself But we're going to play through some of this. It's 2 hours and something, so we're not going to listen to the whole thing, but I want to hear what they have to say about Katie and how they analyze it. And if it gets pulled down, folks, at least I got the information out there. Okay, let's hear.
Pond near his home, but nothing was found. Search dogs has not picked up a scent for Sebastian, according to some of the reports. And this was the most interesting one. Authorities searched a landfill in Kentucky where the family's trash had been taken, but nothing turned up. So on March.
All right, this was 1 day ago, everybody. So now you know this is the only credible information that I've seen, and it was a day ago, and everything else is just fighting.
4th, the teen's mom and stepfather gave an interview to TV News approximately 8 days after Sebastian's disappearance, and that news outlet footage is what we're going to analyze tonight.
Yes.
So it appears to show some activity around 3 a.m.
All right, so Chris, please don't strike us. We all want to see what you're analyzing. You're out there. I shared your link. Let's try to watch this together. If not, y'all can go watch it on their channel. Drop your comments in chat, folks, and I'll chat with you.
According to some reports, but those lights have, there were some lights behind the house, flashlights or something, but those have been attributed to potentially a trash truck in the neighborhood right behind the house as it was coming through and picking up items. But the authorities have not come out with information additionally about those lights, but they're saying they've taken it off the table. What they haven't taken off the table is that, quote, no one has been cleared. Not cleared anyone, quote unquote. So the authorities are.
You know what's even more interesting? When they say cleared, this isn't even classified as a crime right now. No, that they're not even looking at this like a crime. I think they're looking at him as a runaway, or I'm not even sure. Does anyone know what it's classified as? I know it's not a crime, and they're not looking and saying we have suspects. So that's interesting. What is up, Jamie Ferrero, however you say Ferrero Rocher. All right, so this is not a crime according to anybody unless there's something that we don't know about.
Are working hard. TBI, Secret Service, a variety of resources have been put into this. And I have to say, it sounds like Summer 2.0. So that's the gist of it. Thoughts, opening thoughts, Steve, before we kick off into this thing?
I think your analogy to Summer Wells is accurate. You and I did, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos on Summer Wells, and those are worth going back and looking at later.
All right, I want to analyze it. I don't want to listen to all their thoughts, but I want to hear. I want to hear what they say about.
Awesome, what to say.
All right, there it goes.
Experiencing at this time.
You ready, Steve?
Yeah, let's go.
All right,
okay,
we're
I'm
ready.
going to put the video up here and we'll start.
First, just express, I can't even imagine as a parent what you two are going through.
All right. That's as loud as I can go.
We're on a constant roller coaster ride of helpless and hopeless and many other emotions all in one, and it's a never-ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop. It won't stop until he walks through the door.
Wow, that's crazy low. That's the loudest I could turn it up, everybody. So turn yours up all the way, and I'll play it for a little bit.
I wouldn't wish this on anyone.
Let's hold it right there, Chris. Okay, so a couple things. First thing is that stepdad, his name is Chris as well. So stepdad Chris, he says, well, first of all, I got to note that mom did not answer, and I'm wanting to hear certain things from mom as a biological mother. I want to hear right away her expression of concern about her son and what he is experiencing at this time. He's been missing for 8 days, and I know that the reporter, she targeted that question to what they have been feeling, but the feeling of any parent, the grief over their missing child, is going to override anything that they may be experiencing themselves. That feeling of what is Sebastian going through? What is he experiencing? Did he find some shoes? Is he getting fed? Is he staying warm at night? A myriad of things. Did he find someone to take care of him? Is he scared? Is he okay? And just a myriad of things. And that would override everything else. And so I'm wanting to hear that from mom right away, but she couldn't come up with anything. And I've seen that in other cases where and I should say cases where the parents actually had some guilty.
Sorry, I was on mute. I put closed captions, folks, but then I can't I can't put up your comments. So it's up to you what you want to do. You're welcome, Darlene. Let's get into some more of the interview. What he's saying is making great sense. And it's a really long interview. So we're going to skip through some parts. I want to hear what he says about them and pieces that we're missing.
Knowledge of the disappearance of their child. And when they don't come up with it right away, it's almost as if they were asked something that they weren't expected to be asked. And then because lots of times parents will go into once they're asked questions, they have a narrative, and that's what they think is just enough. Whatever's in their head, they think it's enough to suffice the questions that they will be asked. And if they're asked a question that doesn't quite fall in line, they're kind of at a loss of what to say. And so I'm wanting to hear Mom express things about Sebastian, and she couldn't do it. What she did say is, "I wouldn't wish this on anyone." Chris, that refers to what she's going through, not.
It refers to what she's going through, but I wonder if it refers to what happened between them, just like Madeline Soto with Jennifer Soto and them saying the verbal leakage that came out when they are only after a day making statements in the past tense, and certain things that they said about her completely now in hindsight. So let's listen for those things, what he's talking about, if we could hear. It's so low.
What Sebastian is going through. And that's the thing that really caught my attention, is that she has put the focus on herself rather than her 15-year-old son. And he's autistic and he has special needs. And I just don't, that just was abrasive to me. It struck me as not what I expected to hear from biological mom.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
No, you're on a roll. I'm listening.
Well, if you have something to say about that, because I'm going to go back to what stepdad Chris said.
Yeah, no, and the rocking, that sometimes is a stress relief.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for people, they're releasing that tension and that energy. Because to Steve's point, they may have something going on that we don't know. And by the way, just for the record, in the beginning of this, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. We're not here to say, they're innocent or they're guilty. That's not what we're doing. We're analyzing from a professional perspective, where both of us have testified in court as experts in our field. Steve is an expert.
And this is why I like hearing from them, because it's a different perspective. It's different than Deception Detective. It's different than the behavioral panel. It's different than everybody. They have their own take. I'm playing it at 1.5 and it's still kind of slow, which is interesting. What's up, Faith and Repentance? I saw you earlier on one of the channels. I think it was one of the live, maybe it was Grizzly True Crime. Well, hello there. Yeah, let's find Sebastian, okay? And let's hear what these people are saying about the people that we think did something to Sebastian. Put him somewhere, did something with him. I don't think they're hiding him. I don't think he's going to come home safe, but I hope I'm wrong.
And analyzing this statement analysis and identifying deception, it is much different in a criminal case than it is in the civilian court for a civil case. Because in a criminal case, you have jeopardy and you have people that could lose their liberty. So they have a lot more to lose than just their house or their money. So this is a different type of analysis that we're looking at. So I don't have any other thing.
All right, let's get into it.
An indication that there is no hope in his mind that Sebastian is coming back, and they're helpless. And in my mind, I'm thinking, are you kidding me? You're talking to the news right now. You should be portraying this. You should be so happy that we're on the news. And hey, everybody, we're getting the word out. Here's what he was wearing, and let's go out and find him. And it'd be like that. I would be very hopeful at that point that I'm getting it way out there to everyone. Now
if you all agree, let me know that they don't want him to be found. Look at both of their faces. Listen to them when they talk. Look at their posture. There's a reason why they don't want him to be found. They haven't been out searching. They were looking for motorcycles during his vigil. I believe it was the vigil. If you think they don't want Sebastian to be found, put the number 1 in chat, please. I'm interested in knowing how many people think they don't want him to be found.
we learned that this interview came 8 days into the disappearance, and I'm wondering, what is the holdup? Why hasn't this happened before? And it's my understanding that the parents wouldn't do an interview. And is that correct, to your knowledge?
I do not know that, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I won't touch on that then, but I would like to see the parents right away coming out and saying, hey, our child is missing, and this is who he is, and let's get the information out. But that didn't happen, and instead we have this portrayal of helpless and hopeless, and mom not telling us the things that a de facto innocent biological mother should be telling us about the concern over her son. Instead, she's focusing on herself. So that's what we got. And so let's. Yeah.
And I guess we can call him CP.
CP. All right. Good deal.
And that way folks don't get my name and his name mixed up.
Good. Thank you for that.
Which is the same name. And that was from the chat. All right. You want me to keep moving, brother?
Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
It's so low.
Alive. I'm sure that's in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna come home.
All right, I'm going to let you listen to it, but I turned the closed captions on, so please don't complain about the sound. I'll let you read it, and I won't put comments up while we're listening to them, okay? So if you can't read it right now, then you might not want to. It's okay. Just the closed captions are on. You can read this part.
And the street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him. And
That boy's gonna have more friends than he knows what to do with when he comes home.
So
Hold up right there before we get into the next part. It's interesting that interviewer, she's the one that she sensed that something was wrong. You can tell, and she introduced. Well, how about keeping hope alive? I'm sure that's in there somewhere, isn't it? And she wants to hear that. She's as an interviewer, as a working for the news. I'm sure she's interviewed a lot of different people and watched a lot of interviews, and she knows what comes out of the mouth of a parent whose child is missing. She's wanting to hear certain things, and she didn't hear it, and so I'm sure she's helping him out here, and it couldn't come out. Mom couldn't get it out of her mouth. Again, why aren't we hearing that type of language out of her mouth? It's void. She's void of it. Yet at different times, we're going to see during this interview that she's very teary-eyed and she's sad and it's.
So what I was saying, and I had to mute myself because it's so freaking low. I don't want you to hear the background. I know I'm muted. I'm not muted anymore. Watch the tears that aren't really tears. Chris looks like a deer in headlights. He looks afraid almost. This is 8 days after. All right, I'm going to let you read it. So I'm going to say thank you to JoJo for one more membership. I appreciate you. I hope somebody gets this. I'm not muted anymore, folks. That happens sometimes. My internet is weak right now, and I need to update my computer. So bear with me on this episode.
And I believe that she is. I believe that they're real tears. Chris, you and I both seen fake tears in interviews many times.
I don't.
And the fake emotion and whatnot. I think the mom is sad here. It doesn't speak to being sad.
I think she's sad for herself, everybody, and maybe she's sad about what she did, and that has that kind of sadness for herself. But other than that, I think that Sebastian bothered them, and he was messing up their marriage because Chris didn't like him at all, I believe. And you know how that goes when there's two parents involved, they fight with each other. So I think that her tears of remorse of her actions for herself. She doesn't want to be locked up. She wants to be with this man that's right here.
Speak to innocence or guilt. It's just she is sad at the situation. But if she really was concerned about Sebastian, those words about him would be coming out. She wouldn't be focused on herself. And so this indicates to me that she is more in a mode of self-preservation than anything. So I'm going to see how she does throughout the rest of the interview. And hopefully, I want to hear it change. I don't want to see at the end that she's went through this whole thing in self-preservation mode. I would like to see it change to where she's expressing more concern about Sebastian.
Okay, so I'm going to back up just for a second so that the audience can hear those points that you just made. And I agree with them. Agree with you 1,000%. And that sadness also could be, it doesn't necessarily mean, it's sadness towards the totality of the circumstances. It could be sadness that, if there's some type of jeopardy there, that this is kind of a release of that that stress, and that's where also the the soothing of the rocking back and
I don't, and now he has a smirk on his face, folks. I don't think he asked her to choose. I think that Sebastian caused rifts in their relationship and they were fighting about him and she didn't want to deal with that. And whatever happened, happened. And now she gets to go live with Chris wherever she is. So look at that guy's smirk. I want somebody to wipe it off his face. I actually want the judge to wipe it off of his face.
forth comes into this as well. So I'm going to back up just for a second. Listen to how this unfolded.
With family relatives all waiting to hug and love him, and
That boy's gonna have more.
Now, the interesting part there is he keeps shaking his head no, yet he's talking about all the family and relatives coming in to hug him and stuff. Any thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, it's an indication that in his mind he knows that that's not going to happen. And the brain is so powerful, and what the brain knows is typically comes out physiologically and verbally, linguistically. What the brain knows reveals itself, and that's why the polygraph works, the voice stress analyzer works, and why statement analysis works so well if you're skilled at it. And so he's saying one thing, but that head nod is giving us a different answer that's really not going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, and if we go back, if anybody wants to see, we did an analysis on in Summer Wells' case. You can see it in the playlist early on. Steve caught so many things in that situation, and it was indicative of the father talking on the news, going like this, going like this. All right, so that good catch. Hang on.
Right, let's keep going, guys. Come on, we want to hear this. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you all. This is a little bit low, and I put the captions on a little bit slower than I'd like, but they're doing a great job, of course, because of what they do. So let's keep it moving, guys.
he's gonna walk through that door, and the street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him, and
That boy's gonna have more friends than he knows what to do with when he comes home.
So here we are, 8 days now searching for him. Walk us through that Sunday night that he went missing. So walk us through, we've got so many people who really want to know, okay, how did this happen? So kind of just walk us through that night.
I get the sense that she's really concerned about that question.
Yeah. I love those questions, and for your viewers, if they don't know, that's one of the questions.
Yeah, I wish it was. I'm going to play this after so you can hear the actual interview and then we can talk about it. I really wanted to, I really want to be more interactive with you. Thank Lynette Capazio for watching me on Duty Ron. I appreciate that. Today's not the best video day. Everything's kind of slow and this is low, but I promise you it's going to get better. We're working on it here on my end. All right.
That you and I would ask in an investigation, especially with a missing person or homicide. Hey, describe your last moments with your loved one. Describe that last day with Sebastian. And if there was something amiss, if something bad happened, it's going to make them very, very nervous, as you know. So it's interesting to see now with that question and where it focused her brain, what she says here.
So many people who really want to know, okay, how did this happen? So kind of just walk us through that night.
We were out and about that day. We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Said good night to his puppies. A little bit later, I wound up going to bed, and when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
All right. So there's actually
Yeah, that was a nervous laugh, folks. I'm going to listen for this for a little longer, and then I want to do my own analysis because this is driving me nuts. I like what they're talking about. I don't want this to get pulled down because the interview room, I don't know what their rules and regulations are on people. And then I'm having you read, which is not my normal style. So let's hear what he says, and then we'll do our own analysis because, well, I love these guys. They're fantastic FBI experts, but it's driving me nuts.
a lot in that. She doesn't realize she actually skipped over. I mean, she described that day and evening very succinctly, but skipping over a lot of information, what they did that day, other conversations. She didn't say a whole lot, but from in my perspective, what she did say was actually pretty revealing. So the first thing that she said was, one of the first things was that that day was pretty normal. Now, whenever I hear somebody refer to the day as being pretty normal, I'm on alert right away for it not being a normal day. I hear this most of the time when I hear the portrayal of normalcy, it has turned out to be anything but the norm. And so I'm on high alert now. Why would she say this? And
Do you guys agree with that? When she starts off on, it was a pretty normal day. Does that sound similar to Summer Wells, to Stephen Stearns? Oh, it was just pretty typical. Yeah, nothing. She wouldn't do anything like that. I want you guys to, yeah, my background. It's because it won't reload. I want to do the Summer Wells interview, and I actually want to try to get an interview with Dawn. So we're working on that with Deception Detective. I'm working and we're talking about doing that because Dawn Wells might be more open to talking to me as a female. But yeah, that's a huge red flag. Letitia, thank you. Letitia what's the last name? Letitia, we'll just say, um, said it was normal too. So you guys, we really gotta pay attention to these things, and we're gonna watch this after. We'll listen to a little more analysis. I can't do it for this long.
And I want to hear other things about from in experiential language from her. We did this. We went here. We went there. I tried to get him to wear his new shirt. He didn't want to. He said, "Mom, I'm gonna wear this one instead." You know, little things, little nuances about the day. But we didn't hear those things. She skipped over a lot of those things, which is more times than not when somebody portrays the day as normal. It's a way of saying, "Hey, you should believe me that it was a normal day and not ask me any details about the day. Just accept that it was a good day. It was a normal day." Or they will say some things that, and not in this particular case, but sometimes they'll portray it as normal, saying something in present tense, indicating this is what we always do on our normal day, and it allows them to not say what actually happened that day in a past tense. And so it's kind of two birds of the same feather here. She's telling us right away, normal day, but I don't hear the language of this is what we did, experiential language. So she went to, when I told him to go to bed, he did, and she kind of laughed. And what is that? It's a reference to him not going to bed, times that he hasn't gone to bed. And so she's kind of laughing at it, like, for once he did, or this time he did. And the problem I have with it is that it is a portrayal or a reference to something negative that Sebastian could have done. So I'm now on alert, and what she says next kind of seals the deal for me. And I don't like what I'm hearing here, because she says, he said, "I love you, Mom," and he went to bed. Now, saying I love you is something that we all do. I'll call my wife. I'll talk to her on the phone. I'll say, "I love you, babe." When I'm leaving, I'll say, "Hey, I'm running out. I'll be back soon. Love you." My daughters are here. When they leave, we're going somewhere. "All right, love you." We say I love you a lot, but we don't have a need to tell other people that, "Hey, by the way, I told my wife I loved her." If we're asked about our day, we just say, "Oh, I had dinner with the family, and oh, my wife and I went here, there, or to drop my wife off at the airport," whatever it is.
This sounds so similar to everybody all the parents that right now that we're looking at with missing children. It's all the same story over and over and over. Very interesting. All right, let's listen to a little more of this, and then we'll be more interactive. I appreciate them, and you can go watch it on their channel.
Yes. And look, these situations are situations where we would say, "I love you," but it's the need here that she has to tell the world that, "Hey, my son told me he loved me." So that, on top of it's a normal day and this little hint at a negative reference that sometimes Sebastian doesn't cooperate with me, doesn't do what I tell him to do, a little laugh about it, I'm now alarmed, because more times than not, when I hear this "I love you" come out of their mouth, I know that it is often a time when, if a crime has been committed, that is typically the time that the crime was committed. This is particularly true in domestic situations such as this, domestic homicides, other situations similar to this. So I'm always on alert when I hear that the portrayal of "I love you." And the other thing is that what that does is, what she's saying is, I'm such a good mother that my son told me that he loves me. And that even elevates this even more, that why the need to portray yourself as a good mom? That is something in the analysis field that we really take note of, that when there's a portrayal of being a good mom. And there are many cases. It's in the Summer Wells case. There's numerous missing person and domestic homicide type cases. We see this where there's a portrayal of being a good dad, a good mom, a good guy. And it's typically that portrayal comes around the time that if a crime was committed, the crime occurred, or right after, because they're rehabbing themselves now linguistically, psychologically. They feel the need to rehab themselves, to make themselves look better, to feel better about the situation. And so for me, it's a pretty good indication that something nefarious, something didn't go quite right that night. And so for me, it's if something occurred, it was that night, not the next morning.
It was either that night, folks, or it was right after the roadhouse. Now, anybody that's asking questions, I love interacting with you, and we're going to interact some more next. You can see the pictures if you go to givesendgo.com. You don't need to donate. It's fine. Just go to GiveSendGo and you'll see the roof. My ceiling fell in. I have asbestos, half of my house unusable, and I lost most of my stuff. Okay. So thanks for asking. You can go sleuth over to givesendgo.com/J Scott and take a look at the damage that's happened to my house and to my family. So I appreciate you asking, and I don't like to interrupt the show by talking about it, but let's listen to this and then we'll listen to the full interview. I have more.
So yeah, I'm concerned now at this point already.
So, and everybody understands what Steve's doing here is he's kind of, this is, he's not dove into this case until tonight. I mean, this is literally the first time. So it's almost as if I wanted to present it to him in this video, just fresh off the boat, for lack of a better term. And that is such a solid point about a domestic situation for our viewers to understand. When you have the victim looking at the person potentially doing something to them, they go, but I love you. Okay. And yet they're being abused or whatever the situation is. And that's the point that Steve's making here when he heard that. And I missed it until you just pointed it out. That is such a powerful statement in context to the experience level potentially of a domestic situation going sideways. So I'm going to keep moving. Do you want me to keep moving?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
So in your mind, that's usually around what time? When do you normally wake up? Around 6 o'clock? So were you instantly thinking something's wrong, or were you like, he may just...
Oh, one other thing I have to say about that last segment, and Mally picked it up as well, and I had her statement up there, but when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
That statement, when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. Well, what do you mean? Was he woken up? Was he not woken up? What, where's that going? What's your thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, that's definitely something that
that is a big deal when you're picking apart these interviews, because we're being distracted by all the drama instead of hearing what we need to hear and absolute factual details that we're not getting. That was a weird statement that she said.
Congruent, those two things. When I woke him up and he wasn't there, well, you can't wake him up if he's not there. So
right?
For me, that is something that's not experiential. It's something that what happens in the brain when there's any type of deception, which if it's not experiential, then you have a form of deception. Because she's portraying it as experiential, as something that actually happened. But what will occur in the brain is that there's so much stress there in the brain from the deception. The brain knows what actually occurred and didn't occur. And if she's now going to try to force the opposite out of her mouth, the brain is like, hey, we know this didn't happen. And it creates this stress in the brain. It transcends the body physiologically. And what happens is linguistically, we will often hear things like this that it will sound confusing. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't flow right. It will be incongruent like her words are. And when I hear things like that, I'm thinking, wow, this is what's going on the heels of what we just talked about. And now I'm seeing this is called carryover stress. In voice stress analysis, we would have carryover stress. She's still stressed about what she experienced that night. She's still having.
Right, let's listen a little more and then we'll listen to our own. And we've got other takes on this.
Back to something that I didn't comment on just in the segment just before this. But if you remember, she said when she was describing the night, and Sebastian went to bed and said, I love you, Mom. And then she says, a little while later, I wound up going to bed. Well, what that is a little while later means there's time that has spanned, that she's not going to tell us what she did in that span of time. And she's not saying how long it was, but she just says a little while later, that's going to suffice for her. We don't know how much time span, but we now know on the back end that she was on the phone with with CP for 3 hours, I believe.
So 3 hours, just the amount of time for him to get back and forth, everybody. Davey, you feel like she handed him over? That's an interesting thought. And I think a lot of these thoughts come out when we have too much time. We're waiting in between and we're waiting for something to happen. I don't know who she handed him off to. I'm curious to hear your take on who would have took Sebastian and why they haven't come out by now. I don't think this is a trafficking thing at all. So who'd they hand him to? And that's highly against the law to do so.
I believe it was, before she went to bed. And now she's bringing in, now that she's on the phone with him again. This phone conversation with him is going to be really key in whatever happened to Sebastian.
Well, she qualifies it too, Steve, right? She goes, I can't find him. Well, what does that mean? I mean,
did you find it strange the way that she said that?
Yeah, it was like she paused, she's thinking, you can see her gears going.
Yeah.
And let's play that back one more time for the audience and get a better context even for both of us too. Let me go back here just for a second. And by the way, everybody, I hope you can hear this. I've got it turned up full volume. So if you can't hear it real well, turn up on your side over there, the computer on your side, just in case. I certainly want everybody to hear what's being said.
It is. It is.
I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, I can't find him.
Yeah, I mean, that was just out of thin air. You know, within 3 minutes, I can't find him.
Yeah.
So, and it's almost a contextual statement where, you know, she's trying to put it into this anomaly of conversation where, you know, I've been looking for him and I can't find him.
She's hoping it'll get accepted, that it's going to be accepted. But this has so many ties to Summer Wells, because this is so interesting. It's very similar to when Chris, you were at the house and Mom is walking you through the house, and you're down in the dungeon basement, and Mom walked you out the door where she's saying that she thinks that Summer was taken out of that door, that downstairs door, and she came out that door. And I use this clip for my training in the classes that I teach. But Mom comes out and she says, I came out here and I said Summer, and
all right, we're going to talk about that. Let's hear some more.
Not say things that she shouldn't, that might give away what she actually knows.
I think she has anxiety, and it's a nervous laugh.
And then I don't remember her exact words, but within 3 minutes she's on the phone with CP. Well, CP's not there, and so what would we expect Mom to be doing at that point? Would we expect her to call him? How is he going to help? What would you be doing? You'd be on the phone with who? His friends, his biological dad. Is he over?
No, she stays on the phone the whole entire time with Chris for 3 hours, which is very odd. A lot of this is odd. We should definitely be looking at them, keep focusing on them. Troubled resort for kids, they would have to let the police know that, so they weren't or aren't wasting resources looking for him. That is still against the law, and there could be huge repercussions for that, Davey. Not to say it didn't happen, but those parents are going to jail if they did that, because you cannot do that. Why the doggo's not picking up any scent, no shoes. There's another thing. We can write a list out. It turned out to be some kind of combination of there are a lot of those camps, but cases don't get national attention, and then you don't say anything. You'd let the police know, hey, this is what I did. He's fine. Here's the paperwork and the information. You can't just do this. You get in trouble. It's like the Gone Girl situation. Sherry Papini did that, and she's doing time right now. Look into Sherry Papini. She did the Gone Girl thing. They wasted resources. She's doing jail time, folks. Tanya Hansen, thank you for the super sticker, for the free membership. You can thank Jojo for that. Thank you, Jojo. And let's keep going. I'm glad you guys are here, because we're trying to listen to real content, real actual things that could have happened.
Your house, run into the neighbors. Did Sebastian come over here looking outside? Is he outside for whatever reason? Did he go to the garage? All these other things? I can think of like a laundry list of things that I would think Mom would be doing, and places she would be going, and people she would be calling to check. Not CP, who's out of town. Why did she call him? That makes this even more significant. She pulled him into this with that mentioning of a phone call, and now he takes over and it's like, we did this, we did that. They are united in this. But it's not what I would have expected Mom to do. I would expect to hear that I was frantic out of my mind, and I did all these things to find Sebastian. And when I realized, hey, he's nowhere to be found.
Of course she didn't. All right, let's see if there's any more.
I can tell you that is ingrained here and here. I can tell you exactly
I want to hear a little more about
That
the analysis
even all
of what they have to say, though.
going on, there may have been some kind of argument or fight. It came out of their brain. They introduced it.
Yeah,
And
I
so
agree with
that
that.
may have been the catalyst for Sebastian. If he walked out that door on his own, or they put him out the door, then it's a form of justification. And those that have guilty knowledge have to have
Guilty
more times than
knowledge.
not, need to justify it. And the subtle implication or inference that Sebastian got in trouble, would fight, would misbehave, those little inferences now are becoming
Yep.
even stronger to me, that there's a good chance that night that she portrayed, that day she portrayed as the normal, that he was behaving. I told her I loved you, told my mom, he told me that I love you, Mom. I'm thinking that it's probably, I mean, I'm not 100% there, Chris, but I'm pretty close, that it was probably just the opposite that night. And there was probably an argument and something that didn't go well. So I still don't know. Did Sebastian walk out on his own? Was he put out? Was he taken out? I don't know. I can't say that, but I'm not liking what I'm hearing here.
So, the $1 million question, why did he go? And the other $1 million question is how.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on.
I think
Yes.
I stopped it too. Go ahead.
That might have
That
been,
is
should have been
amazing.
your tagline for the show, the $1 million question. As I heard that, I thought, well, the $1 million question is, where is he? Where is he? But Dad's $1 million question, or CP's $1 million questions are justification questions. Well, why? Why did he go? And how did he go? In his mind, it's not.
Right.
There's no question of where is he. That really is a $1
Right.
million question, but not to him. It's
That's
how can we
interesting.
justify this? That's the $1 million question.
Yeah, and the shrug. It's like, yep,
Yeah, done.
yeah, okay, and here we are. After the 3-minute call.
Right.
Here we are. Now they're 8 days into, well, that's the big question. Here we go.
Not where is he? Right.
I don't like it.
Yeah, same.
Is there anything that, anyone he could have contacted? I understand he was somewhat of a gamer, or there was a video game he loved, right?
Minecraft. He loves Minecraft. The game that he has is not online. He has the Switch.
We don't, because of how social media can be, he doesn't have accessibility to communicate with folks on the internet. I mean, we have a firm belief that we just don't feel that right now he's capable of having that kind of responsibility. So, I mean, his phone's locked down, his computers, his game. He doesn't have a gamer tag. He doesn't have.
That actually makes it even worse for them folks, because that means there's not a possibility of somebody attacking him, some predator saying that they, hey, we're friends, I'm your age, come out. So that makes it even worse that he says that, because that takes the possibility off the table in their view. That's like when somebody assaults somebody and they find their semen on them and they said they've never had contact, and then the people come back and say, oh, actually I did have an affair with them, you're right, I forgot about it. When you distance yourself from something, now they're taking that off the table, that maybe he was on his Roblox or one of those games and somebody tricked him and took him. That's interesting. He's very adamant about that.
Online capabilities with games. I mean,
We've combed every electronic.
I mean, we've cooperated with all the authorities as far as anything they've asked us to provide, we've provided.
That's an interesting statement. We've cooperated with all the authorities as far as.
Yeah.
Everything they've asked. Well, okay.
I was gonna have you stop it there too. I'm glad you stopped.
Thank you.
Because he qualified it, just like as far as. But did that even need to be stated, that we've cooperated with authorities? This is your child. Why? We all assume that you're cooperating. That only begs the question: what are you hiding? Why even introduce the possibility of a lack of cooperation? Why do you need to say that? It's not necessary to say. We just expect you're cooperating. Of course you're cooperating. No one would thought to ask, and now we're asking. Wait a minute. It's a head scratcher. Is there a possibility you're not fully cooperating? And now we you break it down even further. Like, well, you just qualified your cooperation as far as. So it begs the question: are you hiding something?
Well, and that's to dovetail into your thought. It's interesting. They go from.
They're definitely hiding something, but what are they hiding? What happened in that house? Where did they put him? That's where my questions are. That's where I'm going with this case. Where is he? What happened? And where did they hide him? Probably his body. I really, truly have to agree to disagree with you, Davey. I don't think that he's somewhere and they just put him out there and they send him to some boot camp or to grandma's house. I'll eat my words if I'm wrong.
What the likes are of the Sebastian, he likes to play Twitch, to work cooperating with the authorities. I mean, it's almost like this, he jumped into a different train track immediately to tell everybody, well, we've let him have access to all of the information in their, our computers and his computer, et cetera, et cetera. But what's interesting is the authorities have said that nobody's been cleared. And that unfortunately includes them. And they said that at the 2-month mark. So
nobody's been cleared, but yet they're not really looking at them and they're living their best life. So let's listen to this interview together. Oh, that's a big screen. All right. Yeah, my thing is wonky today, but it's going to get better right now because we're going to listen to this for ourselves. That was great. That was a great perspective, and the interview room's awesome. I appreciate them, but let's listen to this ourselves.
This whole time. And since then, authorities have searched by air, by foot, and on horseback.
Helicopters, drones, and dive teams have also been brought in to try to find him. Today, his parents spoke exclusively to our Holly Thompson.
She's live.
And this was 8 days after the disappearance. This is what we are listening to, except we can talk about it ourselves now, and we can talk amongst ourselves. I can stop, take answers. You can tell me what you think about their body language. We can say what I've been trying to say is that she has a nervous laugh. He has a cocky laugh. And I feel like there's a huge mask that they're hiding behind right now. I just don't know what happened and what they did with him. Damn.
Tonight in Sumner County. Holly, I imagine it was quite an emotional interview.
Certainly was. It is hard for any of us to imagine the
Well, I would imagine who's profiting the most are the parents that don't have to take care of him anymore. And they make it clear very often that he was very pushy in your face. He was a teenager. They had to take care of him because he was autistic. So they had to go that extra mile. I have a feeling they fought about him and Katie tried to side with him sometimes, which pissed Chris off. So I think they're actually both profiting at this point, not having to deal with him. They're buying a new motorcycle. They're able to travel in the RV. Now that's my dream, is to just not have any bills and just take off, not have how my kids be grown up and take off in the RV and not have to deal with it. But do I want to get rid of my kids? Absolutely not.
emotions that this family is going through right now. But we know one thing is certain. They remain positive. They are holding on to hope that their son Sebastian will return home safely.
Yeah, not.
Can you walk us through what you're thinking right now?
I just want my baby to be okay. I don't know where he's at.
Mom Katie broke down several times in our interview, but says her hope is strong that her son's.
Now, she does have some tears here. We can see her a little bit better, and now we can actually hear her, which is fantastic. I have this interview. I have the other interview. If you guys want to watch it, we're really analyzing them. And if you actually think it's them that did something, someone says who exploited him and turned him to a cash cow. I think they were collecting some kind of, SSI or disability from him. So that's interesting. Now they don't get that if he's not there. She knows he's not okay. And I think she's crying for herself, folks. I really, truly do. All right, let's keep going.
Sebastian will be found safe and returned home.
He's going to walk through that door, and this street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him. And
Stepdad Chris says it's been an emotional roller coaster that all started.
Then why does he keep smiling? Look at that face. Watch. I'm going to pause it on that face.
Love him. And
Stepdad Chris says it's been an emotional roller coaster.
He keeps smiling towards Katie, and both of them just have odd behavior. And this is the first interview that other people started looking at them and saying it was the parents. So I believe this is the first interview 8 days after that got people looking at them and focusing on them like something was wrong.
Coaster that all started Sunday night, February 25th.
Pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did.
How does she know he was playing in his room if she didn't even get up? She heard a thud. This is weird too. This is really weird that she says he was playing in his room. Wasn't it like 10 o'clock at night and it should have been bed? We'll listen, but hello, Jay from California. I left. Oh, you left California? No. I love California. All right.
He said, good night,
Nervous
Mom, I
laugh.
love you.
Katie says she went to wake up Sebastian around 6 a.m. Monday for school, and he was gone. Within minutes, Katie says she was on the phone with Chris, who was working out of town, and they quickly called 911.
And he's not a runner.
Why is the news lady narrating it like that? That's weird. I want the full interview, but why is she saying that they quickly called 911? Didn't she call Chris? And then Chris called one of his buddies? I don't think so. I don't know why she's narrating it like that. And yeah, Chris Proudfoot's shaking his head no. She looks nervous for herself. They keep having a nervous laugh. She has a nervous laugh, and then they keep giving this look to each other. It's really interesting, but they didn't rush to call 911 at all.
He's never run away before. I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out that door.
I mean, he's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child.
He's not a mischievous child. Why would you even say that? Why wouldn't you just say he's a wonderful child? We love him so much. We're already feeling his presence that's missing. We know Chris didn't like him. We got a feeling that he wasn't that happy stepdad. Come on. And yeah, 3-way call. Why didn't she call the cops? Why didn't she call the police? Why did she call Chris to do a 3-way call? That's not a rush to 911 for me. I'm sorry, but this news, I'm not sure why they spun it that way.
By any means.
Katie and Chris say Sebastian is not on social media. While he loves to play Minecraft, they tell me he does not have any online capabilities. I asked if there was any reason he might want to leave.
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. He's that morning he was laughing, he was joking.
It's as if Sebastian vanished. No sign of him on any video throughout the community. Thousands of miles.
Isn't that weird? No video. And she worked for a video company, right? Or not video, home security company. No video of him. We got some weird flashlights and that's about it. See, when you look at this in hindsight, it's much different than we looked at it in the beginning.
Logged by law enforcement, canines, helicopters, even dive teams, and no sign of him. Chris and Katie tell me they've been harassed. People point.
They're more worried about themselves at this point, and I'm telling you, all of those resources being spent would not be okay to have been spent if they were just hiding him somewhere. Although I hope they are. And where's Carl? I hear Carl's in here, everybody. Carl, yes. Yeah, we love Carl. He has good points. All right. Look at their faces. Why are they trying to protect themselves? Why are they worried about themselves when they're not saying they're worried about Sebastian? They're more worried about saving face and people bullying them. Well, Chris, you're a big bully. We heard it.
Pointing fingers at them.
You're not in this situation. You don't quite understand. I wish people would step back, take a different wide open view, and not assume what they know. It's just better to stick to the facts.
Are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that.
Okay, listen, it's better to stick to the facts. Isn't that what we're talking about on this whole show? We just heard him not sticking to the facts and calling a lady a C word, and if he was near her and he wants to slap her face or whatever he threatening, what the heck is going on?
Mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board. We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided.
What do you want to say to Sebastian? What do you want him to hear from you right now?
That we love you so much and we want you to come home and you're not in trouble.
Now, Katie did tell me that even though Sebastian does have autism, he is a smart teenager. He is highly functional. They say if you see him, Say his name, say Sebastian, and he'll respond. He'll at least acknowledge you. And I can tell you, this is my home. This is my community. And the people here are strong. They say they will continue to search. They will continue to hope and continue to pray for Sebastian's safe return. And by the way, you can watch my full exclusive interview with Sebastian's parents on our WSMV4 app. Live here in Hendersonville, Holly Thompson, WSMV4. Back to
All right. All right. Got a little
Okay,
bit
so
of
now
a-
for more
let's
on the
see.
search for the teen and the concerns about what may have happened to that boy.
All right, let's see what they think. Dad says mom, stepdad won't talk to him. Bunch of drama. Let's see. I just want to see. Well, I don't want to watch really him. What I do want to show though is, and I also don't want drama on my channel. I have a little bit, I don't. It's not drama on my channel, but here's the thing, is that now that I'm getting other people on my channel that I'm working with behind the scenes, I have all these narratives and people that want me to do stuff and don't want me to do stuff. So when I'm talking to like the advocates for certain families, they're asking me, please don't do this. And I don't have to listen to them, but there's just some behind the scenes things that I am realizing with YouTube that really sucks. So anyway, I didn't want to bring that to you, but that's why I was answering my phone. What I want to bring to you, however, is this video. And let's see if we could hear it a little bit better this time. I want you to hear this next video. And I showed you the one with Katie on the patrol, which is a little different. Let's see if we could hear this time.
In today's video, I interviewed the mother and
So this is the Chronicles of Olivia. I want you to hear this one and watch for the cues.
He's
And
got
talk.
chocolate
We'll
milk
talk.
on his face because he didn't wipe it off at breakfast.
Okay, so she's more worried about appearance than anything. She's worried about chocolate milk on his face. This bothered me so much, and I want you guys to talk with me about it, okay? So in the chat, say things that you notice, please.
It's funny like that.
Can you recap the overall story of Sebastian's disappearance? Kind of walk through that day.
Sunday, the day before he went missing. We got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. We had a good time. We were laughing, we were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley. And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right."
All right, so last time we listened to this, last time we watched it together, we couldn't actually hear it, and this time we can hear it. And sorry, guys, I'm getting a little bit like the dust and everything. I moved back into the house, so my voice sounds a little funny. Sorry about that. The dust's all up here, and it's allergy season, so I apologize if my voice sounds funny too. I just noticed that. Okay, so in this interview, she's not looking at the camera at all. Chris is watching her like a hawk, and I could pull myself down so you could see it better. You could see, look at his face, look at her face, look at how she's evasive with the camera. Her demeanor is a lot different on this, and this was a good interview from the Chronicles of Olivia. great interview that we can actually hear this time.
Night, mama. Night, puppies. Love you. We went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later.
Okay, so now he was doing something in his room. Last time she said he was playing in his room. It changes a little bit. Was Chris there Sunday night? He wasn't supposed to be there Sunday night. Has anybody done a track on his phone? Have anyone taken their phones and done a search? Have they tracked their phones to see where they went? Have they looked at GPS to see if maybe they dumped a body somewhere? They're not looking at the parents as criminals, but instead it's just a bunch of drama going on. When we bring Nick Barris from Channel 5 on, he always cuts through the crap and says, "Hey, I'm going to dispel all the rumors and then I'll talk." Because all there is a bunch of rumors. And why? All right, watch this and see what you catch.
I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep.
That's not what you said.
And
that's not what she said the first time at all. She said he was in his room playing, and that was 8 days after it happened. Now she yelled at him and said, "Go, I don't care what you're doing, go to sleep." And then I like how they strategically have that missing sign that you can't really see. You can see it, but you can't really see it. So see how her story changed again? It's just really weird that she has so many details right now. But before it was like, yeah, he was playing in his room, and that was the last time I saw him. It just doesn't make sense. When somebody's telling the truth, their story doesn't change.
At night, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he went in here.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he? I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and
so still she's not looking at the camera. I like how somebody said the least important thing in the room is that sign. They're not talking about bringing him home. They're not talking about anything. She's kind of going over the story. I think Chronicles of Olivia probably told her, tell us a little bit about Sebastian and how he acts in case he's out there and somebody comes across him. Chris looks angry the whole time, like, why do I have to go through this again? But he's not being rude, everybody. Chris is looked so hard at the camera when she said that there's a lot of cues between the two of them, folks, that I hope you're catching. Both men are way too aggressive to females. Red flag station. Agreed. And I don't think Katie's as meek as we think, though, folks.
And then he comes out after I come back, and he likes to scare me. But after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And
in the first one, she didn't say that. Also, she went to the kitchen, even though her room goes right through the kitchen to get to his. So she missed him the first time, ran back. I wish we would start looking at them completely and rule them out. Look at all of their, look at their phone, look at their cell phone pings, look at their GPS, look at them swab things around the house, go into Sebastian's room, look closer. We're looking at the right two people that have answers, everybody, no matter whether it's answers to find out where they put him or to find out what happened or to find out what happened before Roadhouse. I think Chris came home to help her fix the situation if he wasn't there during the situation. Now, no conspiracy theories on this channel, but I'm adding up the pieces of what I've seen from the case, and we have the two people that have the answers right there.
I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And
all of a sudden,
I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school. And
Well, wouldn't she know that he wasn't in the effing house when she says he walked out of the front door? Where did that come from? What? Doesn't make any sense. I'm confused about that.
He's already like at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like, he three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on, and he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way, and I drove back to the house, and 20 days later I even found him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before, or like has that ever happened? It's just no, first time.
He's not a child that wanders. He's not.
See, and then he starts answering like he's father of the year and he cares, as Katie sits here looking down and to the left. I know it's more exciting, y'all, to have fights and hear people cussing at people, but Chris makes it a point to look at the camera, look at his face, look at his eyes. She makes it a point to look down here. She doesn't want to say something wrong. These two people both know where Sebastian is. We need to look at them. We need real people looking at them, whether it's TBI, FBI. How about a private eye? Why can't somebody get a private eye and start looking at them?
Not one that is
He doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with elopement with their children. But no, Sebastian, that's one thing. It's always been a blessing. He's not been an eloper or a runner. His primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues and things like that. But he's very smart. He's functional. Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean, he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's angry that he's growing a mustache, but
he's angry.
He's a happy kid. And
why even say that?
What are your theories? Like, I'm sure your mind has thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is, with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. She's saying that, but she's the one that told us he walked out of the front door. So how did that happen? They literally found 3 bodies before someone else working discovered Riley Strain. Right. So do you think they're going to find his body, everybody? What do you think? Seth's hired several PIs to look directly into them because now they made friends with each other. And what? Now what? Look at Chris. He's looking right at the camera.
Away
I'm going to
and
fast
outside
speed this
the
up a
search
little.
radius before we started searching to the worst. And
that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's
really try not to go down that road because we're gonna find him.
Speculating causes problems. Assumptions cause issues. And
As he looks at the camera and says that again, and she knows they're going to find his body. That I agree with. She says, I know we're going to find him. They are going to find his body, Katie. You better believe they are. And when they do have a body, they're going to come looking at you.
And based on facts of what everybody knows right now, there's nothing, and everything is still on the table to being looked at.
You just know he's out there somewhere.
One other question I have is, recently Channel 5 in Nashville.
He is out there somewhere, and they are going to find him. And when they do, there's going to be a problem for the last person that saw him alive. They're going to be able to find evidence, folks. They might find DNA under his nails. Maybe he scratched her. They're going to find something. And I really hope they find it soon before evidence is lost. They should have been looking at them from the beginning. They should have been looking deeper, but I know it's because this guy has ties to the TBI and he's a bully. I don't know why. I wish they would look at him, people. Does anyone know how we can get them to look into the parents more, or is it just bad police work? End of story.
They had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video? Or
Sure. So there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay. And that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what it can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from, but I can tell you, as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from, and nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
Okay.
And anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI News link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff, and it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has, and they will give you current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
Yeah. Security footage is really like a game changer. We're working on Riley's strain and trying to find like if someone missed one on a corner or something. So that's
around this neighborhood and this whole community. I mean, I can tell you that much here. When it comes to the cameras, there has not been one person that has said no. And trust me, it is greatly felt that everybody has been so open, so helpful in pushing out any which way they can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation that weren't home, and they got they've got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah.
That's good. If there was something that you could say to Sebastian if he was listening, what would you say?
Well, that if you can see this or hear this, that we just want you home, baby, and we love you. And there ain't nothing gonna stop us from coming and getting you and bringing you home.
I can't speak for his father, but I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion that we love you, miss you, we want you home. If you can, call us, get wherever you can, let us know, and we will come get you.
Call 911, run out to the street, go in public, anything.
He's looking at the camera pleading, and he already knows, folks. He knows. He's actually kind of just tuning out there. She's not looking down. What do you guys actually think? Where do you think he is without all the drama? And why is there so much freaking drama anyway? I think people just like it, and it sucks because why can't people just straight shoot, not say little puns and in between the lines, reading stuff? I can't speak for his father. Funny. Yeah, I'd like to see what happens. Katie looks like an abused wife, but why was she there at the Harley Davidson store looking at bikes and trying to be sexy on a bike when the vigil was happening? Let me see if I could dig up anything else that's new that just happened while we listen to this. I'm interested to see what we have.
The signs that we've been blessed to have family, friends, and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines, trying to get awareness because, not everybody knows that he's missing, and there's a chance that if someone could see him and not even realize who he is. So we want to get his face out there because we want him home.
Surprisingly, even locally, there are some folks that don't even know what's going on, and it's kind of like a shocker. Like, how do you not know? It is amazing because in the past couple of weeks, you've got 2 cases. A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace. You've got a 22-year-old, 6'4" or 7" college kid.
Why is he talking about that now? And I know we're talking about Riley Strain, right? So we're talking about that now, which is really weird. And then we're talking about Sebastian. Why does he bring that up? Let's see. 4 hours ago, now the father wants the FBI again. So I'm going to stop this for a minute so I can just show you. I'm going to stop sharing that and show you this. I don't understand. This case is just, I want to know why they're detracting from looking for or finding Sebastian. Even at this point, Seth is doing that now. Channel 10 says father wants FBI search for Sebastian Rogers. Didn't we already talk about that a while ago? All right, so 4 hours ago. It's a quick clip, y'all.
Of a missing Tennessee teenager is now asking the FBI to get involved in this case. Sunday marked 3 months since Sebastian Rogers was last seen at his home in Hendersonville. Investigators have searched a number of areas, including around the Rogers home and even a landfill. Meanwhile, his father has started an online petition to get the FBI involved in this search. More than 18,000 people have already signed it.
All right, so that's the petition, everybody. That's the petition that we were working on signing before. So let's look at and see if there's any. Let's see if there's any other real updates on Sebastian. Because right now, yes, I did go over that. No, that was 4 hours ago. They already told Seth the FBI will not be coming in. Okay, so he told them 4 hours ago that he wanted them to come in. Now, are they not getting along again? Is that what I'm understanding, everybody? Are they fighting again? So let's look at Sebastian Rogers and see does Nick Barris have anything? Search for Sebastian continues. All right, so let's see the search that continues, folks. All right, let's take a look and see what real updates we have going on, because that's what I want to know. I don't want to hear about them fighting. That actually, yeah. Arguing and drama is like the worst thing in the world.
For 3 months, flyers and posters have been plastered around Sumner County to find 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Haley Wilkes. Bob Mueller has the day off. He was reported missing from his family's home on February 26th. And since then, there have been search parties, prayer vigils, and an open investigation. Sebastian's biological father is talking with News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry about how he's approaching every day with positivity. Caitlin.
Seth Rogers, Sebastian's biological father, says every day is a day Sebastian could turn up. He tells me he has kept Sebastian enrolled at Beach High School since February and will be re-enrolling him again in the fall as he hopes to have his son back by then. Take a look at this video Seth shared with us. In this video, you can see a young Sebastian Rogers playing at a park, something Seth says they would do often on a day like
So that's real information, folks. There he is. We can see how his body posture is. We can see his motion, the way he moves. That way, when we're looking for him and we think we see him at Katie's mom's house, we know what he looks like. We know what to look for. We can tell, is that him? Is it not? I know he's aged a little bit since then, but this is the information we want, and this is what we want to keep out there.
Today, as families all over the country spend time together at the park or on the lake this Memorial Day, Seth is continuing to search for his son by mapping out possible search routes. He says this week he will search the area for his son with a close group of people. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office has continued to investigate, saying last Monday that, quote, we have been working closely with various law enforcement partners, including the FBI, since the start of this case. Seth tells me as the search continues for now 91 days, he will not allow this to become a cold case.
So this is awesome and that's where Seth comes in, and he's doing a fantastic job. He's out there, but enough is enough sometimes, and you need to know when enough is enough and pull back and stop fighting with each other and stop spreading, going on to stations, and now we're not getting along again, and it's just taken away. I mean, it's pissing content creators that want real content, not fighting. Can anyone back me and say that T-Rev said he wasn't going to cover this because of the drama? Anybody know?
When people stop looking, when people lose faith, it becomes a cold case. And I'm not going to lose faith. I think everybody is helping keep the faith, keep the prayer strong, God's protecting him right now, and he'll bring him home. We just have to look in the right places.
As investigations and searches continue, community members have made sure to keep Sebastian's name in the public eye through prayer vigils and a motorcycle ride in his honor.
And see, that's what I want to do with y'all. I want to keep him in the light. Why he's still missing? Why all the antics? Yes and no on T-Rev. Did anyone else hear him say he was fed up with all the drama and fighting? Okay, so he changed his mind. He was discussing for a few minutes. I knew I heard that. But if all of us stop taking him out of the light, then we are going to forget about him and it's going to just be cold. And I don't want those parents to get away with that. I believe if he's hiding somewhere, they have something to do with it.
Seth says if you want to help, you can do so by handing out flyers and keeping Sebastian's name visible. If you have any information regarding Sebastian's whereabouts, you can call the TBI or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Those numbers are listed on our website at WKRN.com. Haley.
Okay, so yeah, no, I definitely don't think Seth did anything. I don't think he's meaning to do anything wrong, but bringing up drama in this situation is hurting folks. And the reason we're going so long today is because I don't want to leave this case. I don't want to leave this case and abandon it, but I feel like nothing's happening right now. And all that's happening that I'm finding is people just spending hours on it. So On Patrol, we watched that. We've watched all the interviews, and I don't see anything else. I mean, the Bloodhound team dive called the ramps 2 months ago. They gave up on that. Does anybody else have anything? The drama is exhausting for real. Yes, thank you. So I think what we can do better is spend our time on cases that need the attention. We still need to get justice for Corey Michelow. That's happening this week. The Dr. Bodden. Did anyone see Dr. Bodden today? That was really good. He didn't do well at all. Yeah, there are plenty of new cases that need attention. I have an email full of them. And you know what else needs attention? My green screen. All right, y'all. Go ahead and put go ahead and put your link, drop your links in chat. I think Carly, are you still here? I think Greeno's going live next. So go ahead and head on over to his channel. And Carly just gifted a membership. If any of you guys have case suggestions, I know I have a bunch of case suggestions, but please email me. And I think you know what's next. There's somebody I want to cover. Let me find her name real quick. Madalena. How do you say Kohokari? There's a Madalena Kohokari. Let me look that up so you guys can tell me what you think about this. Kohokari. Let's take a look real quick. Stay on here with me because we're talking about missing kids. We just got a membership gifted. Your membership's gone, Juror 13. No, we have something special for you too. I don't want it to be gone. Okay, so there is actually Madeline. I want to see the direct an hour. Oh, there's news about the trial in this. Let's take a look real quick. Don't head out because there's jury selection set for her stepfather. Did you guys know that? All right, let's look because we are still talking about missing children and I don't want to stop talking about them. Even if we stop talking about it is monthly. Even if we stop talking about Sebastian for a while, it's because there's no information. So tell me if you guys want me to cover this case. I know that let's see who emailed me. Oh, Sleuth. It's Sluggy Sleuth has a bunch of information on this case. So let's real quick, let's listen to Madalena Koja. Is it Kohakari? Let's see.
Today, as jury selection begins for Christopher Palmer, the stepfather of the missing 13-year-old Cornelius girl, Madalena
There you go.
Kojikari.
Meanwhile, around the same time Palmer was
Kojikari.
walking into court yesterday, his wife, Diana Kojikari, was walking out of the Mecklenburg County Jail. Queen City News reporter Sydney Heiberger is live in Uptown outside the courthouse this morning.
Sydney, Queen City News cameras, we were there the moments that Diana walked out of the jail. This was the first time in 17 months.
All right, and as a reminder, this came a day after Diana changed her plea to guilty for failing to report her daughter missing. And after she did that, the judge ruled that she had already served the maximum sentence for that felony, which is why he ordered her release. Still, though, there is the strong possibility that Diana could be deported, and that is because now she is a felon and she with only a green card. She's not a U.S. citizen. Diana didn't say much while walking out of the jailhouse with her attorneys yesterday afternoon, but she did respond to one reporter question. Take a listen.
Madalena safe right now?
Do you know where she is?
I hope so. You hope you know where she is? You hope she's safe?
All right. Does anyone know about
In the
this?
courthouse this morning for jury selection for the trial of Christopher Palmer, Madalena's stepfather. Jury selection.
All right. I bet you haven't even heard about this, folks. There's already a trial about to happen, and I bet so they never found her body. Some believe her mom sold her, but her stepdad's on trial. I want to dig into this just a little bit. I've never heard of this case either until Sluggy Sleuth messaged me. So it's very interesting what's going on. Yeah, who is this? That's what I'm trying to, let's put that, I'll put a little more on. I have more
Is scheduled
time.
to begin at 9:30 a.m. Yesterday, a judge denied his attorney's motion to delay the trial. Reporting live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse, Sydney Heiberger, Queen City News.
So let's look at this for a second, folks. I just looked at the case, and again, you guys are missing kids, you're into missing children, and jury selection's happening. Christopher was interviewed about the disappearance. It begins trial for stepfather. So we can see that. Do you guys want to watch a bit of this interview and then tell me if you think he's guilty and if we should. All right, I'm going to pause this for a second so I can tell you what happened on May 8th, 2020. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but I want to know if you guys want me to cover this. And if you know about it, if you're interested. I heard it. She was reported missing. I love Toy, your show. Great show. Thank you. I've been following this one. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to say this, and then at the end, I'm going to give you a quick promo. I want to show you my book. I bought 10 of them, so I'm going to give out 10 books. I can only ship it on my dime if it's in the United States. At the end of this, I'm going to show you my book, and then I'm going to give 10 of them away. I don't know how yet, but you can be entered into a drawing to receive a book with my signature on it. All right, let's stay around. We're looking at the Madeline. It's I'm sorry, not Madeline. Yeah, Madalena Kojikari. So I'm not going to watch the whole thing. On May 28th, Cornelius Police Department Detective Bradley Nichols testified in the trial of Christopher Palmer. Palmer is charged with failing to report the disappearance of his stepdaughter, Madalena Kojikari, in 2022. So we have no body and we don't have any resolution to this. Let's watch it for a minute. No sound. Just wait. All right. Jurors watched video clips of the police interviewing him in 2022. So we're going to skip around a little bit. I just want you to see if you are interested in me covering this. It is a case that hasn't been solved, so it would be a rabbit hole for me to dig into, but I'm totally into it. And I have Sluggy Sleuth that backs me up on this and will help me out. I'm going to go through this a little bit. I want to see some of this footage with the dad and what we think.
Okay, she had to get out of but I had anything like that. Not that she has. I mean, there were some, but they were kind of taken away. There was 2 phones and it wasn't iPad, but she lost it for the longest time. So
okay, so she lost her iPad. It's bad audio, folks. I kind of wanted to hear a little bit more about the story.
Tell me about this whole like burning a couch in the backyard. What was that?
Oh,
You get cats and birds jumping around and business. We don't have a truck. we just started with that yard to get rid of it, and then I chop up the metal. You know, dispose of it. That's all that is. We were just, you know, that's stuff we were just getting rid of, you know.
So it sounds like he was getting rid of evidence possibly when his stepdaughter went missing. And yeah, we definitely have to dig deeper into this. This is interesting. So he got rid of evidence and burnt it and then talked about chopping it up. I'm suspicious of all dads except my own now. Well, they're looking at him heavily, so that's interesting. I'm going to show you my book after in just a few minutes. Tell me if you want me to cover this. I just watched a local news station and looked at the case because in-laws live in Charlotte. Well, you guys can send me a link. I just want to know what this is about.
You don't know. I don't know. How long have you been watching together?
All right, so this is just the beginnings of it.
When you got back from Michigan.
Let's see. I want to see if there's any narratives on this. I don't think I can watch this for hours.
I mean, I don't think the kind of little arguments that you had with your wife and so that sort of thing, was there any indication that maybe your wife was trying to leave or anything like that, or that she wanted to separate, or? I mean, the other day, we were talking about, you know, confusion, she said, on that motion. What would she be referencing when she said that? I mean, has she been thinking about going somewhere, or? Well, she talked about going back on a little bit to see things.
All right, so you can see they're looking at the stepdad. They're starting to do a trial. There's nobody. Let me just give you a quick recap on this. I'm going to play a 3-minute clip, and then I'm going to show you my book, and I'll answer any questions you have, and then I'll get out of here. But it seems like some people are interested in seeing that, and also if there's people still around that want to know anything, I could just take you through a look real quick at my account where you can see the roof fell in. I know Jamie's probably not here anymore. She had lots of questions earlier, and I don't know where she went. Okay, Madeline Kojikari has been missing for a year, and this was 6 months ago. This was posted. Let's look at this little girl's face and let me know if you want me to cover the case. Oh, her mom pleaded guilty 8 days ago? What? Hold on.
5 minutes. We want to send it out live.
Hold on, folks. All right, if you heard about this case, I just found out right now. I'm just looking at this 8 days ago. So everyone's saying it's a cold case, whatever. Let's listen together.
WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane, who has been in the courtroom. Richard, what's the latest that you're learning?
Yeah, let me explain something. First of all, I actually sent that text in earlier saying it was a plea deal. It's just she accepted into the plea of guilty. The judge asked her just a short while ago in courtroom 5170 whether or not she understood the charges that she was facing. She answered yes. And then at that point, her attorneys, who she just recently changed, spoke, and they said, we're now changing her original plea of not guilty to guilty to that charge of failure to notify law enforcement of a missing child. Then the judge went over a couple questions, asking her questions like asking her if she understood that she was not a citizen of the state or of the country for that matter, and she could be deported if she pleads guilty. She answered yes to that. He asked her again, did she understand the charges? Were there any mental conditions that she was undergoing now, or when she heard about when she spoke to her attorneys asking whether or not she was going to enter this this charge of failure to report her missing child? Again, she said yes, she understood. She also said yes, she was entering it of sound mind, so to speak. Right now in the courtroom, they're going over a number of things, including the fact that she understands that she could get 24 months for failure to notify law enforcement. That's a class 1 felony, and she would actually have to serve 24 months in prison.
That's it, 24 months. Anyway, there's 222 people in chat. Say a prayer for Madeline Kojakari, and I'll show you the little girl right after this. I'm blasted by this. She only got 24 months, and I didn't even know about this case until a couple days ago.
But she'll get credit for time served. Now, she's been behind bars for a number of months. They're going to go through that and figure out just how much time she has. She could be released very soon, and then she could be deported. Now, the big question in all of this is, where's Madalena? That's what everyone is still trying to find out. We can tell you that her Madalena's stepfather, Christopher Parmentier, who we told you was going to.
I know you guys recognize that little girl's face. I recognize it. I did not know her name. I'll show you after because she is missing. And there's a possibility somebody could find her trafficked somewhere or her body. Let's watch. And then I'll show you the clip and then we'll go over my book. Tomorrow night we will do a giveaway. And what I'll do here tomorrow is we will send a link out, and everyone who clicks on it and enters info will get entered into a spin wheel drawing. So I have 10 books to give away. I don't know how many I'm going to give away tomorrow, but I have 10 books. And if you're interested in getting a book from me, let me know. I'll sign it for you and ship it out. But it has to be in the United States because unless you pay for shipping, I can't pay for shipping on that, folks.
To have his jury trial start today. There was actually another case, a murder case that went on before that, and that had not finished yet. So they're probably going to have that coming up sometime tomorrow. Of course, that's something we'll continue to look at. Our own Jesse Pierre is still in the courtroom getting details and getting information as this surprising turn of events has come down. Now, we know that Diana Kojakari is saying that, yes, she is guilty of failure to report her child, Madalena, missing to the authorities.
All right, Richard Devane reporting live for us outside the courthouse.
That's all she's guilty of, huh, folks? Doesn't sound like Casey Anthony. All right, let's Kojakari. Someone said I put found, and then hopefully you guys can still see this because we're looking together here. All right, let's find out who she is.
Right now, a solemn day, though, marked in our community. It's now been 1 year since Madalena Kojakari was last seen. We have video here showing those moments she got off the bus in Cornelius, which was the last time she was seen.
Yeah, she hasn't been seen since. We know authorities say her mom and stepdad didn't report her missing for weeks after that video.
All right, when a parent doesn't report, there's a problem, and we know that there's a huge problem right now in this world with missing children, either missing or deceased. So I want you all to know it's a problem. And I think what we can do, we can focus on this case, but instead of just focusing on Sebastian, I have a list of missing children, and we could do a Sebastian update once a week. And then with Sebastian update, I can also bring light to the children that need their faces out there of missing children. Kind of like America's Most Wanted, but we want those children back. Let me know what your thoughts are on that while we watch this.
Video showing her getting off the school bus. Police eventually arrested both for failing to report, and her mom remains behind bars tonight. Since then, Cornelius police have released several photos and videos of Madalena. They're really hoping to bring her home, but so far nothing. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is joining us live from Cornelius tonight with how the community is honoring the search for Madalena. A very tough day there, Jesse.
Absolutely. Well, Madalena was remembered at Bailey Middle School today, where classmates and staff took a moment of silence before dismissal today. And in about just 30 minutes, community members will be gathering here at the town hall in honor of Madalena. And the police chief is expected to speak at the event today.
So what we can do, folks, we're going to finish listening to this. So now you brought awareness. Instead of spending hours on one person spinning our tails, we will dig into new cases, but we'll also bring light to that giant list I have in my email, mostly from JoJo, but lots of people are sending me all these children that they want me to put on the forefront and bring to light that they're missing. Nobody knows about them because maybe their parents are in a poor community. Maybe it's a African-American community, Hispanic community. It's not a white person with blonde hair and blue eyes. Listen to Madeline Soto. When the 911 call came in, guess what? Her aunt said she was white with blonde hair and blue eyes. I speculate that she said that because police will look faster for a child that looks like that. They get more attention. When a girl that goes missing, that's a beautiful girl, Natalie Holloway, that got lots of attention. But then you get a somebody that's of a different nationality, and a lot of times people just don't care. Now, I'm not going to start getting into systematic failures and racism, but we all know it's true, and I want to bring light to those, and we can do quick clips, like 5 minutes each, in the spotlight for these children, so we know that who they are and that we care that they're missing.
You think of the vulnerability of younger kids, and it breaks your heart to think about this, of what this little girl has gone through or is going through, and her whereabouts.
It's been 365 days since Madalena Kojakari was last seen in public leaving a school bus on November 21st. Madalena's mother, Diana Kojakari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmer, did not report her missing until December 15th. Both were arrested on felony charges. Palmer's attorneys argued that he did not know anything about Madalena's disappearance and would have no reason to hurt her. In August, his bond was dropped from $200,000 to $25,000. He bonded out, but has to wear an ankle monitor. That's absolutely ridiculous, folks. He bonded out. The mom is now arrested for 24 months. She pleaded to not reporting her daughter. The charges should be higher than that. That guy could be a predator that assaults children in the way that you know that I'm talking about, and they let him out with a ankle monitor. There's so many like that, folks. Mark Jaton, not related to this case, says this is so police can keep a watch on him.
The electronic monitor is the most secure way to monitor someone. They have a device that has to stay on them 24/7. If the device is taken off, the authorities are automatically notified, and they're going to pick them up.
Madalena's mom remains in jail under a $250,000 bond.
What I think that the detectives are now dealing with is how to get the mother to give them information, because she's still behind bars. The father's out on bond, but the mother is still behind. And bars, and of course working one against the other.
Investigators have combed through cell phone records, electronic communication. Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I'm telling you, May 25th is National Missing Children Day. Spread the awareness and wear the colors of missing children, and I'll show you that after. I definitely think we should do a show like that. There's sound now. It's been kind of a rough run today. I got some text messages while I'm doing this, and sometimes I need to get text messages, and sometimes I shouldn't get them until after. So I don't like drama, and it tends to follow with YouTube. I'm sorry about that. Also, my internet, you can see my background. It's been a rough one, and I'm still on here. We've got almost 2.5 hours. Let's keep going. And other items that may be linked to Madalena's disappearance. But 1 year later, she has still not been found. Cornelius police are encouraging people to continue to share Madalena's photos and call in tips.
And there is no bad lead.
What's up, brother?
So any information, whether it doesn't seem like it is reliable or if it is extremely reliable, anywhere on that spectrum is all valuable. Give that information to law enforcement as soon as possible.
Now, things are expected to get started at about 6:30 here at the town hall. We'll have. All right, so I want to show you now that you know about this case, y'all can send me links. I'll put my
email below. I am going to need help with doing this. If you guys want me to show the missing children and bring light to them, and we could switch it out for Watts Wednesday, or any day of the week we can do it. Let me show you this real quick. Let me stop this one and show you the link that I received of missing children, and it was National Awareness Day on the 25th. It's crazy. I didn't even think about this. Look at that. Missing Children Day. Thank you, Melissa. Let me bring myself down here so you can see this list. National Missing Children Day. We got a whole list of them here. Spread the awareness of missing children in your state to show support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is it? 7? I don't even know. So there's a link to, I don't know what that is. There's programs for it. Yeah, there's a lot of information that I would need a list of. I would need a list of children. So let me just share this, spread it with you real quick, and then I'll show you my book really quickly. Yeah, I get bombarded with lots of good information. So the event passed. The 25th was 3 days ago. It was National Missing Children's Day. And that's when we observe National Missing Children in partnership with National Center of Missing for Missing and Exploited Children and the Office of Juvenile Justice. Let me make sure I'm not muted or something. All right. So the Office of Juvenile Distance and Delinquency, the day serves as a solemn reminder of the thousands of children who go missing each year and the ongoing efforts to locate and reunite them with their families. President Ronald Reagan, which we know is in the 80s, proclaimed May 25th as National Missing Children's Day in 1983, honoring the memory of Ethan Patz, a 6-year-old boy who disappeared in 1979. Since then, this day has been dedicated to raising awareness about missing children and recognizing the tireless work of organizations and individuals committed to child safety. Let's join together in to honor the memory of missing children and advocates. All right. So I know a lot of people are dropping off, but yeah, do Matt Walsh style. I missed that. Yeah. You mean Adam Walsh, not Adam. Adam Walsh is the one that died. It was, anyway, you know who I'm talking about. The Walsh family. Adam went missing. Yeah. We've got Kyron Horman, Reagan. Oh my God. Don't get me started. Yeah. All right, so we're going to pull this up. National Missing Children's Day. I'm going to take that down. You guys can help me to run a show like that. I would need help with the different cases. I didn't want my face up that big. To do the different cases, you'll have to help me and send links and so forth. All right, but in the meantime, this is what I'm going to show you. Let me pull up this, and I'm going to show you my book so that we can do some book giveaways for you. A lot of people are asking about my book, and I'm going to show it to you. And then I have ordered some, so that means I can do some giveaways. Again, I won't be able to pay for shipping out of the state, but here you go. Now, this book was written by me, illustrated by me, and I have some editor. Yeah, John Walsh. Thank you. America's Most Wanted, John Walsh. Okay, so this book written, illustrated, and a whole bunch of other things I did. So I have Jay Scott, the author, me. This is on Amazon.com. It's called Reason 111 Why I'm Gay, Memoirs of a Modern Lesbian. It's also available on Kindle as well. And the book's based on my true events, and it will help others who may be contemplating being gay, bisexual, or any other feelings that you are out of place and don't seem to fit in with your description by definition of others. So it's a compilation of my feelings over the years of thinking I was straight, questioning it. It gives you real facts, but also humorous understanding of my feelings as I went through life wondering. It also may help you identify with questions you have. I'm going to show you a few, just a picture or two, because some of them are too graphic for this, and I don't want to do that. So, let's see. We'll timestamp this as well, so you guys can. Let's see. Hopefully, there's nothing bad in the picture, but you can see the images. Maybe that's funny. That's a funny one. Hold on. It gives you the reasons. So basically, you can see some of the art in this right here. Almost everything was illustrated and done by me. So if you have a Kindle, you could go download that. I think you could download it for free on the Kindle if you have Amazon Prime. So there's my book. You got Kindle edition. You get 2-day shipping if you have Amazon Prime. Okay, so the art is funny. Everything about it, I think, is pretty funny. It's an easy read book. So number one, I was born that way, the gay way, and then I did a cute little picture of a little baby, me being born, but I was born with tattoos. Go figure. So look at the illustration. It looks great on paperback. I just wrote that last year. I wrote it and I did the whole production myself with an editor, and you'll see the people on there. When did I write it? Last year. I'm not okay to be 6 or 2. What I don't know what that means, but yeah, baby J. I was born with tattoos. Look at that. You see the tattoos. Bree says she loved it. It was my true story, but I also am an artist at heart. So since I'm an artist, I decided to bring my art, my comedic skills, and everything all in one place. So there's a couple of pictures. I wish I could share. I wish it was going faster. There's got to be more. Oh, we don't want to look at that one. Anyway, there's some of the stuff in there that you can see the way I illustrated it. There's kind of a semblance of me. Someone utters the word FAG. I answer to it happily. Yes. It's just real talk, real life. It's, how it goes. It was my life. So Baby J is a gay modern baby Mona. Yeah, the book is cute and colorful. You have it and love it and definitely identify with it so much. Not all of it, and you don't have to identify with all of it because it's my story. Some people can give it to somebody as a gift. They may be questioning themselves. It will help them. All right. So let's see. There's another cute picture right there. And I'm a graphic designer by degree and tattoo artist of 25 years. I don't know what happened there. I just botched it. Hold on. All right, there's a picture again. So I thought that was cute. I thought that was relatable. I tell the story about how my family got together, how I had my daughter, Reese. You're funny, Jess. I wish I was gay. So I had my daughter. I tell the story about how I had my daughter. There's, a wife and a wife, 2 kids. As you can see throughout the book, there's a lot of tattoos in it because, well, yeah, I'm heavily tattooed, folks. Yeah, some of the pictures. This one is, like number 6 in the book. It gives you a preview of it. Thank you for hitting the like button. This one says number 6. When I was a woman, when a woman has something intelligent to say, but she also has great cleavage. I'm probably going to be distracted by the cleavage. So just silly stuff, like somebody looking at somebody. And that was my buddy that drew that picture. I illustrated some, he illustrated someone. I had an editor and I was the author of the book. So thank you for, the pictures. I appreciate that. Most definitely talented, Jay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I love you have the glasses and the pick. Absolutely, I do. I always have my glasses. All right, let me see if there's any more previews. So if you guys want to win that book tomorrow, it is an adult book, so to speak, even though it has cartoon-like things. It's real life, and it's my real life at that. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the sample of it. There it is. You can find it on Amazon if you want to just get it. If you want to win it, you could win it. Yeah, the art's cute, but you'll see how cute some of it's not. All right, so I'm going to show you one last thing. And again, we're going to timestamp this. Bree does a wonderful job of always timestamping my stuff. Okay, so nobody asks again. I just don't like, number one, asking, number two, going over my stuff. This happened to my house March 4th. We're almost in June now. And yeah, you're welcome, Faith. I don't like to get into my personal life often, and I am sharing it with you. So I have a book, I wrote it, and there it is on Amazon. This is what happened to my house March 4th. We're almost in June, and now, not on top of this hole, the ceiling that fell in, it gets worse than that. I have a give, send, go. The pictures are there. My story's there. So when you ask what happened, you could find it on this campaign, what happened to me. You can see the pictures. It also turned into asbestos after that. So now we have a lot of our house as asbestos. My goal is 7,500. I've raised 925. Plus, other people have sent me money behind the scenes into my PayPal, and whatever. Love, you're proud of who you are. Absolutely, you can't be any other way, folks. So there's a hole in my ceiling, and it turned into asbestos. Nothing. They did not talk about Sebastian. He wanted to badmouth the yeah. Well, we'll timestamp this so you don't have to watch this. But I thought I'd share a little bit of my life here with y'all, and just let you know so people don't ask over and over. I don't want to be rude, but yeah, the whole bedroom is destroyed. The whole roof is destroyed, and the asbestos makes it so. Like for instance, right now I'm stuffy from having the dust that's kicking up. Work's halfway started and halfway not. So yeah, you can get sick living like that, and luckily I'm not in that, but I do have allergies today. So that being said, I thought I'd share a little bit of my life with you, and I want to share my book with you as well. So everybody, listen, I will tell you how it's going to go. I will I don't know how to get you to enter it yet, but I'll tell you how to enter it, and I'll let you know all that. Carly, thank you for dropping the links. If you have any other links to drop, go ahead and drop them now or at the end of the show. And yeah, I think TCI is going to be on. So pop on over there. Do you want to drop a link, Carly? You can. So everybody can head that way and help to fund Delphi, the real Delphi documentary. If you guys are looking for the real truth, then go ahead and head that way. We'll have a spin wheel set up for you tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and do that so people can win a book. There you go. There's a link in chat. Anthony's live. Gonna do if you're into the Delphi case. I don't cover Delphi, but he does. So go ahead and watch that. He's trying to he is filming a documentary right now. So we'll get the truth. I believe Richard Allen is the person that took those little girl Abby and Libby's life. And so that case boggles my mind. I cannot wait until trial comes. Jay, I have to mail you my copy to sign and send it back. Whatever you want to do. Gigi, if you want that, I can absolutely send you my signature. No problem. Whatever you want, I'll do it. So we'll figure that all out. You guys have my email. It's right below. Hit that like button on your way out. I feel a little vulnerable when I share my life. There's a lot of people, and my platform is getting bigger, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Sassafras. I always feel vulnerable asking for things, and I feel vulnerable sharing my life with you all. So just know that I'm getting more comfortable, and I love you all. Every single one of you is amazing. Patricia, you're a strong person. Thank you. I've had to fight my whole life, and not in a fist fight, folks. I've had to fight my entire life for the spot that I've had. I am a female tattoo artist that didn't belong as a female tattoo artist in the 90s when I started. I also am the COO of a mechanical engineering company in the Silicon Valley, folks. And guess what? I don't belong as a female in that industry either. It's dominated by males. I also happen to be born gay. Damn it. It would have been so much easier to be straight, folks. So everything I've done, I have had to fight for. I'm here and I'm proud of you. Thank you, Mr. Beer. I appreciate you. Yeah, my puppy's down there whining. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Again, we'll time step. Yeah, I'll take the boss, bitch. I've had to fight my whole life, not in a physical way, but I fought with my intellect and I've used my empathy, my heart, and the correct words, and that will get you a long way, folks. All right. So if that inspires anyone, let me inspire you. Females can do anything males can do. I love my male friends. I love my son. No men bashing here. I love men just as much as I love women. I just happen to be born gay. All right. This is where you need it. You wouldn't ask if it wasn't such. Yeah, absolutely. I would never ask. I haven't asked for things in a very long time. And Gigi, I'll take that sexy boss bitch, even though I'm unfiltered right now. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you all. When she hits it big, we want that signing. I'll get you that signing now so you have it before, girl. All right? I love you all. Too much mansplaining. Yeah, no mansplaining. She never. I love men. I have a son. Love him. No mansplaining here. All right, folks. I just want you to know I love everybody equally on the same level, but I've had to fight my whole life, and I'm going to continue doing it with you all. So if you need support or you just want to talk as a friend, reach out to me, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com, and I'll get to you as much as I possibly can, okay? Let's look forward to tomorrow and winning a book. Thank you all. On that note, let's hashtag missing children, hashtag find Sebastian Rogers, hashtag no drama. All right. On that note, I'll see you all tomorrow. I love each and every single one of you, and I'm out of here.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?